Kicked Away
with Diesel and Cole Bryson
on the Fan Upstate.
A couple of years ago, Cole, Mac Brown at North Carolina made waves by issuing state championship rings for college football. And I don't know if you're aware of this, Cole. There is no state championship in the state of North Carolina, or any state for that matter, when it comes to college football. Yeah, there's a rivalry victory, but you don't get rings for that. You're not calling up your local Jostens rep and saying, hey, could you throw a couple of diamonds onto this white gold ring and send us a few of them for our players? It was absurd then. It's still absurd now to think about that was a thing.
Well, unfortunately, I have bad news for you. I've heard Dabo Swinney many times refer to the South Carolina Clemson game as just that, the state championship.
You can talk about it, but you don't issue rings.
Okay, so
you don't
rings,
issue
what you're
trophy.
saying is going – well,
you don't get ribbons for
no
it.
Trophies at all?
No trophies. That's dumb.
Palmetto State. What do they call like Clemson and Carolina in baseball?
Okay,
you know?
You're missing the point here. You're derailing before we even really get started.
I'm just asking, should we direct Dabo Swinney hate today on the show? You're not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of it when you're issuing a state championship ring for a bunch of teams that don't actually play each other.
I will say, I agree with you. No
that
rings
was my
should be
point.
Given. No
okay?
rings. No. Rings are special. Rings are for winning championships, Super Bowls, right? What else?
Can you hand out a ring or a trophy when two teams didn't play each other? Because that's what happens. It's not as if in the state of North Carolina, sticking to the example here, not getting all the way derailed.
Come on, let's do it.
It's not like North Carolina played Charlotte and App State and East Carolina and all the other in-state Power 4 schools in the ACC. It's not like they did that. They just declared themselves state champions and handed out rings. And it was lame there. He got derided for it at the time. He got ripped for it as being a stupid token gesture that had no meaning whatsoever. And it's still true to this day.
No, I agree with you. Even though I tried to derail, I do agree. It's
so you tried. So you're admitting you tried to derail.
Yeah,
gosh,
I am not a big I'm not a big star guy. Hey, let's give stars for this, stars for that. Yeah. Everybody gets a trophy kind of thing. I'm not a big everybody gets a trophy guy. So I'm going to agree with you. I think it's. And you said it was Mac Brown that did it?
He did do that. You're like the kind of guy, if this was like one of those 80s or 90s kind of hijinks movies where, there's big track meet the next day and you go out there and you raise up those hurdles by like 3 inches to make it harder. As soon as you get going, bam, you're hitting a hurdle. Bam, you're hitting a hurdle. Bam, you're hitting a hurdle. And all of a sudden you're tripping and rolling across the track.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't like it. Okay. I don't like it at all.
Well, all this is meant to get us to the first segment here on the show as we are doing our predictions all week long for how Clemson will finish the season. I have them at 10-2. You had them, 9-3, I believe?
Yeah, 9-3 is what I finally landed on. Yeah.
South Carolina, you had them at 8-4. I had them at 7-5. We did our predictions for the Carolina Panthers. I think both of us had them doing really well in the division, not so much in the league at large because, they have a tough out-of-division schedule this year. So now, Cole, we get to start getting a little creative with what we rank and what we predict. Let's do a little prediction here. It's a segment that we regularly do throughout the season, the Carolinas Top 10. There are 10 FBS teams in North and South Carolina. Clemson, Duke,
10.
South Carolina, Wake, East Carolina, NC State, App State, North Carolina, Coastal Carolina, Charlotte, 10 FBS teams in the Carolinas. 7 of them are in North Carolina. South Carolina, we got to catch up. We got to start producing some more FBS schools. What do you think?
10 sounds like it's not a real number. I mean, you know what I mean?
It's a lot,
10 just sounds like a lot. 10 schools, 10 FBS schools. I like it.
So as we are looking into our crystal balls, as we are rubbing the rock and we're thinking ahead towards the end of the season, Cole, how do we think these 10 teams will ultimately stack up if you looked at it from the standpoint of the overall AP top 136? If you only had to narrow it down to the 10 Carolinas schools, how will they finish? How will they be ranked in the final AP poll?
Last year was such an outlier. I feel like, you know what I mean, when it comes to the success of these teams and what the success of these teams mean, Diesel, in terms of, I think we settled on the other day that Duke was the best team last year in the Carolinas. And to say that out loud in basketball season would be normal to say it out loud during basketball season. But to say it out loud during football season, wow, what does that tell you about the state of the Carolinas? So, as you look at the 10, Clemson, Duke, South Carolina, Wake Forest, ECU, NC State, App, Coastal, North Carolina, and Charlotte, you do wonder, you do ask the question, okay, how many of these teams that were so bad last year are going to bounce back in a dramatic way?
Yep.
Clemson, I believe most years would be the number one consensus, right? The easy answer.
Yep, most years they would be.
Most years. And I guess we lean that way again. Now, how do you define best while they're in different conferences? Overall record?
I'm looking how they'll be ranked in the final AP top 136.
Yeah.
Is that right? There's 136. Is it 137 now that North Dakota State is in FBS football? It's constantly growing, right? Until the breakaway, the number is constantly growing. Texter says, I am so confused. I get your confusion, Texter. We kind of threw the first couple of minutes of the show into a blender and things got a little crazy. But how would you, Cole, predict at the end of the season the worst team in the Carolinas? Should we go worst to first?
Yeah,
or first to worst?
No, I like worst.
Okay, worst teams in the Carolinas. 10 teams in the Carolinas. We'll get into those rankings here in just a second. I want to give you a heads up though. Coming up at 3:45, Rory McIlroy has gotten real chippy, throwing some shade at LIV players yet again. We'll have some audio. We'll discuss that. More predictions, conference championship predictions coming up at 4 o'clock. Will Vandervoort of the Clemson Insider going to join the show in the 4 o'clock hour. It's going to be a busy, busy show. And of course, the Tolo Takeover, your chance to call in and take over these airwaves. 844 fan phone coming up at 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. But let's get into it, Cole. Worst team in the Carolinas. When it's all said and done, is there any chance in your mind that the Charlotte 49ers, who finished last year 1-10, 1-11, their only win was against Monmouth, and I don't even know what division of football Monmouth is in. Is there any chance that they pull themselves out of the dumpster and are actually a mildly respectable program in 2026?
It's weird because I didn't think of Charlotte as a team that used to be that bad. I just thought they were a little bit more respectable than 1-11. Like, how do you go 1-11? That's
in the first year of a new head coach.
That's bad. So, okay, look, first year new head coach. Do things get better? I think they do. I think it's a battle between Charlotte and North Carolina. What does Coastal Carolina have to throw into the conversation? Also a new coach, right? Yep. New-ish coach.
Second year,
right?
Under a new coach.
Second
year for Charlotte's coach, too.
Coastal's got a little bit of a difficult schedule early. Late schedule doesn't give them much room to recover. I think it's between them. I think it's between Coastal, North Carolina, and Charlotte. And I don't know. Charlotte plays App State?
Charlotte does play at App State this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? Fascinating early season. I guess referendum on Dow Loggins, maybe, Diesel, when it comes to
for App State.
For App State, right? Yeah, that should be fun. No,
certainly say that.
I think Charlotte's probably keeping that 10 spot.
I did see that Ryan McGee put out his bottom 10 already for this year, week 1 bottom 10, and Charlotte. He calls them the Charlotte 49ers. They are. Yeah. I think I know that for a fact that they are on the list. I can't remember where exactly he put them, but Charlotte is on this list, and Charlotte is always there. Charlotte is always.
They're just bad.
They're just bad. I mean, and it's hard to dig yourselves out of the hole. Now, they're one of those programs that really needed to spend a lot more time in FCS before making the jump to FBS. But like they had this whole we're in Charlotte, we're in the biggest market in the state of North Carolina. Yeah. We should be in a big time conference, and they didn't give themselves time to build their program from the ground up, get a foundation of 500 seasons or more, or good seasons at the FCS level. They just went right for the jugular. They went to the American Athletic where, they got some money, but they are so far behind the 8 ball, Cole.
They've never been successful.
There's no way they're going to dig out of that hole.
Well, since they joined FBS that you were talking about, they've never been successful, right?
No.
Maybe 2019 is what I'm seeing. They were they 7-6 in 2019. So I guess that's their peak. I guess that's their absolute peak.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a few years after they were entering FBS. They've struggled to find consistency. So
tough.
Yeah. Charlotte's got to stay at 10.
They're picked to finish dead last. They're going to be punching up every single week all season long. 2 touchdown favorites in week 1 against the Citadel, though. So that's good.
Touchdowns?
They might win that game.
Charlotte's favored by 2 touchdowns?
Against the Citadel. What do we know about the Citadel? Not much.
What am I missing there? Oh, my God.
I mean, when you're only 2 touchdown favorites at home to an FCS service academy.
Dear Lord.
That's a problem.
I don't know.
That's
Citadel, I mean, they're not terrible.
No, they're not.
Terrible.
They're not.
Good God. 2 touchdowns. New coach in Maurice Drayton. Give me the Citadel to cover. I mean, my gosh, just cover.
I mean, they lose that football game. There's a chance they go 0-12. And last year, like, none of their losses were close. I mean, it was blowout after blowout after blowout. See, you're a little lower on Coastal Carolina than I am because at least Ryan Beard, who's coaching Coastal Carolina, he comes in with a little bit of experience as a head coach. Now his 4th season overall as a head football coach. I think Coastal Carolina is going to ultimately be ranked higher than North Carolina. And that says a lot about Bill Belichick and North Carolina, that I think this experiment is so bad, so toxic, that they are I think North Carolina is a 2-10 team this year.
Oh,
I think they're a 2-win team again. They're just
if they're a 2-win team again, you got to just get rid of that. I mean, just rip the Band-Aid off. Rip the Band-Aid off.
I mean,
what
at that point,
embarrassment.
hire Bobby Petrino. Who cares how negative his past has been? Just put Bobby Petrino in charge of things.
Weathersfield still have them. Oh, he doesn't have them finishing last, believe it or not, in the ACC. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
TCU lost. They beat Tennessee State, right? They'll beat East Tennessee State.
I hope.
Clemson, no. Notre Dame, no. Pitt, probably not. Duke, probably not.
Yep.
Syracuse, probably not. Miami, no. Connecticut.
I think they'll beat UConn.
Maybe.
I think they'll beat UConn. That's what I'm saying.
It'll be a heck of a basketball game. UConn and North Carolina just not on November 7th. Louisville, no. Dang, you might be right.
That's my point. That's my point. I mean, are they going to be a much better football team? Don't know. But their schedule, as far as who they're playing, is brutal.
They'll beat UConn.
They'll beat UConn and East Tennessee State. Those are the only 2 that I feel good about.
Maybe Pitt.
No, I don't think so. Not on the road at Pitt. No way. So,
by the way, Tom in Somerville, best text of the day. Even though it's not open yet, Tom says upset pick, Citadel plus 14.5. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with Tom on that.
It's not a bad pick, Tom.
No, it's not.
It's not a bad pick.
Tom, you can't pick yet, though.
Hold it, and it's 15.5, by the way. At least it was. At least it was earlier today.
Here's my money. Take it. So I'm agreeing. North Carolina is going to be. I like your Coastal take a little bit better now.
I think Coastal probably wins 4 games. I mean, they don't have. They don't have an easy slate either. They got West Virginia, Delaware, that's been pretty good since moving up into FBS. Liberty, I assume they're still a solid enough program. I think Georgia Southern beats them. I think App State beats them. I mean, I think they have a 4-8 season at Coastal, but still that'll have them ranked higher than North Carolina.
Yeah, what that new coach does. I mean, Ryan Beard, first year, second year.
Second year at Coastal.
Yeah, they weren't great last year. Mm-mm. And we talked about them a little bit. I just don't have a lot of faith in them. But that's good news, because that means that 8, 9, and 10 doesn't belong to your Mountaineers.
That's true, but 7 does. I've got App State 7, NC State 6, East Carolina 5. We'll sort of bite this off in chunks. Dow Loggins has to get better than it was last year, right? First year as head coach. He's stepping aside from the play calling duties, letting someone else call the plays, and they pretty much wiped the slate clean, so it can't get any worse. I mean, there's only 4 returning starters on both sides of the ball. This is a brand new team.
You know, I think App State's a wild card in this top 10. I think they are. I think they're the wild card, because you talked about it. Some new shakeups. Only 4 returning starters. Is that right? Is what right. I see. That's terrifying. But the schedule late in the season, a little bit more friendly. Mm-hmm. You survive the front half. Maybe you're 7-5. Where are they at on our Bill's tab? Do you have it, Mark? App State.
I don't know what page they are.
I'll find it. I looked at their schedule. earlier, and on the back end, Diesel, I think it's a little bit more forgiving on the back end.
Somewhere around 290.
Yeah.
Yeah. 288.
I think Diesel, I think App State and NC State are up for debate there.
You keep seeing on paper that App State's done a great job in recruiting. Dow Loggins is a hell of a recruiter. Fine. Maybe he just didn't have a whole lot of time last year. Not every coach comes in, shot out of a cannon, and is elite in year number one. So
a lot of unknowns when you have that many. When you have that many new pieces.
It's true.
That many new pieces. But would you? How far off do you have them in NC? Like NC State could go 5-7. App State could go 6-6. Maybe
I've got App State's right around that 6.5 mark.
Okay.
I could see them going 7-5 because it's a front-loaded schedule. In the back half, things get easier. Or I could see the team basically giving up on them and having to get really out of control. Yeah. And if that's the point, I don't know if you fire Dow Loggins after 2 years.
Not yet. Give him time. Be patient, Diesel. Be patient.
I got NC State number 6 on this list, which means I have them behind East Carolina. So there is a smaller school ahead of them in this ranking. I see NC State having not a bowl eligible season.
No, I mean, they've got a good quarterback.
Their defense is going to be bad this year.
Their defense has been bad for many, many years, like the last few years. Like, can the quarterback at NC State be that good? I think we all believe he's going to be good in C.J. Bailey, but he's not going to be good enough to
can't make
hide
tackles.
Those deficiencies. Yeah. That's what worries me. That's what worries me.
The hard thing about NC State is they get their bye in week 2. Then they have 11 straight games after that. What a meat grinder that is for NC State. They got Vandy. That's an interesting one. I know Vandy has done a hell of a job in the portal. We won't know what the Vandy quarterback situation is. NC State might get smoked by Vandy, and that is me not knowing anything about Vandy's quarterback this year.
Yeah. No, you're right. I just don't know. I'm looking at their schedule.
Plus, they have a tendency to fade down the stretch, too.
And how much faith do we have in that staff,
None. I still can't figure out why they keep extending Dave Doran.
Right. Mediocre coach.
Better than what they've had.
Mediocre.
For a lot of schools have the mantra of who can we get that's better?
Yeah, that's true.
And NC State says, well, Dave Doran is better than what we had.
I think Dave Doran's mediocre at best. Yeah. And that's the problem. So I don't have I guess I would flip-flop maybe App State a little bit with NC State. Those could be wishy-washy, floundering.
They play each other too.
Man, App State's got NC State and who do we say? Oh, Charlotte.
NC State, East Carolina, and Charlotte this year.
How about it? So a lot of crossover
staying
in this list.
State. Yeah, staying in state.
I don't have a huge problem with that. Did you say Wake Forest at 5?
I've got East Carolina at 5 because I think Blake Harrell's building something nice out there. But I still don't trust East Carolina. They have a weird stretch in the middle of the season where they have 2 back-to-back Friday night games. Back-to-back Thursday night games. They're going to screw up and lose one of those. Their schedule is fairly weak. I got them at 8-4. I think they're going to have a solid season for East Carolina. They'll win a bowl game probably and get to 9 wins. And that's 2 years in a row that Blake Harrell has won 9 games at East Carolina. That's getting them back on track to where that fan base expects them to be.
You said 8-4?
8-4 on the regular season.
8-4 though have them higher than 5? Or no? You don't think?
Not on my list.
Not on your list?
Not on my list, because I also look at it of if you're in a G6 conference, you have to win more. You have to win more games than a Power 4 conference team does, because they don't get that benefit of the doubt.
Well, that's true. If I were ranking them strictly on record, I would say East Carolina might be 3, 4.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Just on record.
Interesting.
Just on record. But yeah, if you're going by that, 5 seems kind of comfortable. 6, 4 to 6 seems comfortable for me there.
I got Wake Forest at 4, South Carolina at 3, 4 and 3. Wake Forest and South Carolina. Jake Dickert, heck of a coach, man. He won a lot of games last year at Wake Forest. And they got Gio Lopez. He was phenomenal at South Alabama. I know he wasn't good last year at North Carolina, but the system that Freddie Kitchens was running was not really set up for a guy like Gio Lopez. And Wake Forest, from everything I'm reading, is a system much more set up for Gio Lopez to be successful.
Gio, he's been in the league. I mean, in the league. He's been in college for a few years now, right?
Yeah.
A few years under his belt. Seen a lot of football. What is this, year three, something like that for him? Year 4?
Year 4. I think he was at South Alabama 2 years. He was at North Carolina for 1. Now he's at Wake Forest. I think that's right.
No, that sounds right. From a Wake Forest perspective, like, how often do you get a 4-year guy at Wake Forest,
Yeah,
Doesn't
guys are
feel
transferring out.
Right. Dan B checking in on the YouTube stream. He says, Tolo. Good to hear from you, Dan B.
Nice.
I don't have a huge issue there. Huge issue.
And I think Wake Forest defense is going to be nasty this year.
Really?
9 starters.
Wow.
9 starters. 7 of them were on the team last year, so they picked up 2 more starters. I don't know that they'll have, what do they win, like 9 games last year at Wake Forest? I think they had a really good season. I don't know that they repeat and do that again, but I got Wake Forest winning 7 football games this year.
That's pretty good for Wake Forest. I mean, let's be honest. 7 games at Wake Forest. I mean, come on. That guy's getting a raise.
After the years and years of futility that they had over there in Winston-Salem, I think that's phenomenal for them.
And then that means you have 2 left?
That means I have 2 left. Excuse me, 3 left.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I got South Carolina at 3. I already talked about this yesterday. I got them going 7-5. I got Duke finishing higher than South Carolina in the season-ending AP poll. And that's because I think Duke is going to have another big year.
Okay.
I like Manny Diaz a lot. I think this is the year that Manny Diaz is trying to pull a Mike Elko, trying to show the quality level of coach that he is. And the fact that his run, by the way, Wake Forest won 9 games last year, that his little stint at Miami and his essentially failure at Miami was not necessarily his fault. It was not Miami was not ready to ascend to where they are now yet. I think Duke finishes the season ranked higher than South Carolina.
Even without Mensah?
Even without Mensah.
I think that's pretty ballsy. I don't know. Duke, Phil Steele's not real high on Duke. Who's the guy at Walker? Walker. Was he a transfer in? Eggett?
Walker Eggett from San Jose State. He's thrown for almost 6,000 yards in the last 2 years.
We talked to him? Did we talk to Walker or no? I do remember Walker being at ACC kickoff, I think. Maybe we interviewed him up in the small room. Diesel, I'm going to disagree with you. I can't put Duke ahead of Carolina.
Why?
I think quarterback matters a lot. Maybe sometimes I think there's too much stock there, but I do think South Carolina has more stability. Now, they do play in a different conference, newsflash, right? And that matters. I mean, if South Carolina was in the ACC, boy, would this list be different. Yeah. Boy, would there, so that's a big part of it.
Remember, this is not a power ranking. Yeah. This is a where do we expect they'll be at the end of the season ranking.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. Another thing about South Carolina, I think I have them losing 4 of the last 6 games, South Carolina. And if you've lost 4 out of the last 6,
you're going
to drop like a rock.
That's true.
And depending on, what Duke does in that same stretch or what any team does in that same stretch, you rise above it, right?
Duke's got Virginia, Boston College, NC State.
Yep.
Miami, Clemson, Wake Forest, back to back to back. That's their final 3.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe those three could be. You think Duke beats those 3? Miami, Clemson, Wake Forest?
I think they get one of those. I think they get one of those.
The Wake Forest game's on the road. I think they lose all 3 of those. Ouch. I think they lose all 3. But look at the front half of the schedule. There's some wins there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wins. I don't want to say a lot.
Illinois is a winnable game. It's a tough game, but it's winnable. It's on the road. Stanford, William and Mary, Georgia Tech, North Carolina. I mean, there's a very good chance that's a, what is that, 4 games? There's a good chance that's a 4-2 team.
It's kind of unfair, though.
6 games, 4-2 team.
Not really fair to Duke to have to play 2 teams at once on September 26th, William and Mary. Like, that just seems like a lot. I mean, they should just give them 1.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're smart and all, but giving them 2 teams to play, and that means that Clemson's
going to finish the season as the highest ranked in the Carolinas.
How about it?
I got them at 10-2, being in a CFP conversation.
How about it? There's a little air horn for your Clemson prediction there. 10-2 does get them in the CFP.
Yep.
And depending on if they win the ACC, right? That's a big part of it as well. Boy, I don't have a problem with Clemson being 1.
Any egregious changes that you would make?
No, I'd flip-flop a few. Like, I'd flip-flop Carolina and Duke, or South Carolina and Duke. Let me be clear, because if we're talking about the Carolinas, I have to say South Carolina.
Yep.
And then maybe App State and NC State. I might Quit being so down.
I'm so down on my own team.
Quit
I
being
don't
so down.
like being here. This is what the portal and NIL has done to a once mighty program.
Well, maybe they can reportal and retool and Dow. You might be singing the praises of Dow Loggins here in a few months.
I will kiss the man's feet if he wins 9 games this year.
I cannot wait. I'm going to make that happen. We're going to make that happen.
Dowell, wash your feet. We're going to send him a foot bath tub.
Let's do it.
To Boone.
Let's do it. Diesel, the next segment brought to you by Dan B. Dan B was at Ingles yesterday, and he brought up a great segment idea. And I think we did this last year, maybe a couple of years ago, but I love it. I love it a lot. There was a team last year in the NFL that went from worst to first in the division. Worst to first. One team that did that. Dan B told me who it was. He came by Ingles. He said, hey, what about who's going to be that team this year that goes from worst to first in the NFL division? I love it. And we'll do it. We'll talk about it next.
with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
Well, Diesel, I said one, I was wrong. There were two teams in the NFL last year that went from worst to first.
Look at the glow up there.
Yep. A
Move
glow
on up.
They lost
to
the weight.
East side.
They got a little thin. They, they got rid of that fat around their face. They glowed up. Not glowed. They glow. How do you
Glue up?
How do you say that?
No, you said glowed up.
I don't like that.
That doesn't sound right either.
Glowed up.
Glowed up.
Nah, I don't like that. And let me. They brightened up. They brightened up after a bad 2024. Two teams in the NFL last year, Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots, both went from worst to first, Diesel. The Bears won the NFC North 11-6 after finishing last the previous years. The Patriots claimed the AFC title, 14-3 record before making a run to the Super Bowl. So I don't think that happens often. Two teams in the NFL go from worst to first in the same year. No. So I was at Ingles yesterday, and Dan B was like, hey, who do you think will do it this year? And I said, Dan, that's a great segment idea. We'll get to it tomorrow. Would you expect either one of those teams, Diesel, Chicago or New England, to fall and make room for someone else in 2026? Or do you think it's another division where you see the glow up? The glow up there. I like that. The glow up.
Chicago or New England fall?
Do they fall out of first place in your mind? You know what I mean? To make room for somebody else?
I mean, Buffalo may win the AFC East.
Yeah, I think that's an easy pick, right?
In Chicago's division, let's see. The Lions, Packers, and Vikings. Oh, my.
And see, the Lions, I think Dan B, and Dan, you're on the stream, correct me if I'm wrong.
I could see the Lions or the Packers winning this thing.
And I think...
It's a competitive division.
I think the Lions is who Dan brought up yesterday.
Yeah.
By the way, good to see Blake on the YouTube stream. He says Tolo.
By the way, glowed is the correct past tense, even though it sounds wrong.
Glowed. They glowed.
Yes, the fire glowed on the wall. Yeah, it's bad.
I think Dan went with the Lions. So, Tolos, let us know who your pick would be. 844-326-3663. It's the Ingles Markets text line. Phone lines are open as well. You can also comment on the stream, as a few have already done. 68 watching the show right now on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Going from worst to first is tough, right? That's a big jump. I think, to answer my own question, I think New England's got a chance of being really good this year again. Mm-hmm. You know, you talked about, I think you a couple of weeks ago were really high on their quarterback, Drake May.
Oh, Drake.
So I don't think New England, I don't think New England falters a lot. But when you look at teams that could do it this year, I'm going to start in the NFC South in your division. In your division, Diesel, let's just park there for a second. If you go 2025 NFC South standings, the New Orleans Saints last year finished last. Would you like them to be a candidate to go from 6-11 a season ago, from worst to first? I think I would probably put the Saints at number one on my list.
I mean, weren't they all 3-3 in the division? So worst to first is literally anybody but the Panthers.
It's just a
in the division.
A tick up. You don't have to move up a lot.
I mean, that's the clear, easy answer. Yeah, I mean, I think they'll do okay. Another year of Kellen Moore, and this is what
year two?
It's only year two.
Year two.
Year two of a quarterback having some more time under his belt. Alvin Kamara, we'll see how healthy he is. There was that report
he just got hurt,
week that he strained something in his knee. Is that right?
Yeah, he's out for a month.
And he'll be out for a month, which will take him out. Now, it all depends on how he recovers from that. If he recovers from that, he's fine, cool. They also added Trevor Aitchen. Still sounds wrong to me.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
So, I mean, they've got competent replacement for Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I think the Saints going from worst to first is maybe the easy answer here, just because of what you said. The NFC South is separated by a needle. You know, I mean, just a tiny little needle is all that separates those teams, it feels like, in that division. So while going from worst to first does sound like an incredible feat, Diesel, in the NFC South, like you said, maybe it's not that incredible of a feat. But I would go Saints as a team to watch there, particularly in the NFC South, to go from worst to first. What about this one? Let me throw this one at you. Let's go to the NFC East. And I don't want to talk about this because my team's in the East. The Giants were 4-13 last year. Remember, they started off pretty good. Some excitement around Scattaboo and Jackson Dart. Cam gets hurt, Diesel, and their season goes to, you know what? Mm-hmm. Brian Daboll gets fired. Harbaugh comes in. Could Harbaugh in year one take the Giants from worst to first in the NFC East? I'm going to say I think this one would be way more challenging than the Saints' feat, just because you have at the top.
That's a hard division.
The Eagles. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Eagles aren't going to drop off a ton, are they? I mean,
no.
You're going to have a 10-plus win season to go from worst to first. So for the Giants, could they go from 4 wins to 10 wins in 1 year? Is Harbaugh that good of a coach?
No, because Jackson Dart will find a way to get himself hurt. And, he'll run head first into a 280-pound linebacker, and he'll hurt himself and say, "I can't believe I keep getting put in the medical tent."
God, the Jackson Dart hate on the show today.
Cam Scatabo too.
Yeah,
I mean they might injure each other in pregame warmups
on purpose.
Yeah,
Malik Neighbors has to stay healthy. I think the Giants have enough talent to leap. I think they have enough talent to make a leap, Diesel. I do not know if in the NFC East though it's feasible to go from 4 and whatever they were last year, 4-13 to first. You're going to jump Washington and Jaden Daniels, jump Dallas and Philadelphia. I think that'd be a long shot.
Well, especially without A.J. Brown. They got to figure out something at wide receiver.
Shane Barrett says, which teams were last in each division? Okay, well, sorry for not resetting that or setting the scene.
I got you right here.
You got it?
AFC East, the New York Jets. AFC North, the Cleveland Browns. We'll just skip right past them.
God.
AFC South, the Tennessee Titans. Skip right past them. AFC West, the Raiders. In the NFC East, the Giants. In the NFC North, the Lions. NFC South, the Saints. And NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals.
Diesel, I don't think it happens in the AFC.
Well, it's not happening in the NFC West. The Arizona Cardinals are not beating the Seahawks, Rams, and 49ers.
But read those 4 bottom feeders in the AFC again.
Bottom feeders in the AFC last year were the Jets, who went 3-14. The North, it was the Cleveland Browns that went 5-12. The AFC South, it was the Titans that went 3-14. And in the AFC West, it was the Raiders that went 3-14.
I just don't think it happens in the AFC. Like, I don't think the Jets jump. I mean, the Jets are the Jets. The Browns are the Browns.
Yeah.
The Titans.
Well, what if Cade Klubnik gets put in the game?
They're still the Jets. Still the Jets. Sorry, Cade. And Cade's, they might get worse. No, I'm kidding. The Titans, Diesel, they're not. That's a bad division. AFC South's a bad division.
Mm-hmm.
Last year it wasn't. The Texans were good last year. Usually it's a bad division. And the Jags were really good.
Yeah, this is the Jags division to take over and run for a couple of years.
I think so. It
seems like the Texans are on their way down, and the Colts, they can't figure themselves out.
I think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the NFC. And you said it's not happening in the West, which I agree with.
Nope.
So that only leaves the South, the North, and the East.
Yep.
On the stream.
I don't think it's happening in the East.
Nah.
So it's either the North and South.
North of the South.
Lions or Saints.
Couple of comments on the stream. A lot of comments actually coming in on the stream. Shane asked which teams. We got to that. Dan B. Diesel says Lions were the worst last year. Saints, Jets, Browns, Titans, Raiders, Cards. Dan also says Detroit was only one of the 7 with a winning record.
Mm-hmm.
Leprechaun Lyman says Raiders, baby. Mendoza's going to take the team to first, says the Leprechaun of Lyman. Dan B. comes back and says, get out of here, Leprechaun. The Raiders are not jumping the other 3. Shane says, thank you. Detroit and Saints are easiest. I do think the Titans make a jump. Leprechaun says, I don't think that either, but I think it'd be awesome. I think Shane's probably right. The Lions and the Saints, those are the 2 easy answers there, right?
So Detroit was 9-8 overall, 2-4 in division, 6-6 in their conference. The Bears, had a better overall record at 11-6, and they were also 2-4 in their division. So a team that finished sub 500 in the division won the division over the Packers and the Vikings by virtue of having a better full season.
You know, the Lions were bad last year. And that division was weird last year. Look at those standings, you know?
Yeah.
Bears winning the division, number 1 is weird. But then when you had the Packers, Vikings, and Lions all at 9 wins, like the Lions were in a Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
I think it's anyone's game in the NFC North. I mean, all these teams are pretty good. It really depends on what the shakeout is of their schedule this season.
I think the Lions is a good one. And then
do you really have that much trust in Caleb Williams? Like, really?
He looked good last year, you know.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know if I have that much. I was really impressed with him last year. Really impressed. I just don't know how much. Where's my trust level? Where would your trust level be with him?
But it's still Dan Campbell and Jared Goff, right? I mean,
again?
I know that's a championship caliber staff right there.
Yeah.
Coach and quarterback.
I think so. That's a fun division. That's a fun division to watch in 2026. Let's go to the phone lines, Diesel. Nick wants to get in on the conversation. Is this Nick from Brevard? I remember a Nick from Brevard. Is this the same Nick?
Yes.
What's up, Nick?
Sir. Yeah, totally agree about the Lions if we're going worst to first. If we want to put a little caveat on it, I think the Bengals may shake up AFC North.
Ooh. Okay, let's go to the AFC North real quick. Bengals, Browns.
Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns last year.
You think they could go from third to first there, Nick?
Well, no Tomlin in Pittsburgh, and as a Pittsburgh fan, just looking at the roster, I just don't think they're going to have it this year with Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers.
Plus, Mason Rudolph's going to be starting by game 4.
Or Drew Aller, for that matter. John Harbaugh, like you was just talking about, no longer with the Ravens. Lamar doesn't use his legs anymore, and the Browns are the Browns.
That's a good point. From 6-11, Nick, to whatever it takes to win that division, 10, 11 games, I could see that. Joe Burrow, we talked about it a couple of days ago. Joe's got a lot of pressure. I think there's pressure there for Cincinnati to be better this year.
Absolutely.
Nick, thanks for the call, man.
Good stuff, Nick.
Yeah, man.
Nick in Brevard. Love Brevard.
How about that?
Brevard's one of the coolest places, isn't it? You ever been to Brevard?
I love Brevard.
Brevard's a cool little place.
Brevard has its own little open container district, Cole. It's a couple of city blocks where all the bars are located in Brevard, and you can just be outside in the sunshine having a cold drink.
Yeah, I like their lakes.
Why you gotta laugh at me like that?
I just didn't.
I'm a bad guy.
No, I just didn't think you were
sunshine.
going there. I didn't think you were. It was funny.
Now, what are you insinuating, that I'm up there for different reasons?
The scenery.
Yeah.
I don't mean like
the flowers, right? The plant life.
That's really mine. No, really, the lakes.
That's why you go there.
Honesty.
Different kind of plant life we're talking about. Different kind of that.
No, the lakes. I used to go fishing in Brevard a lot. They've got like 3 or 4 lakes, and I think it's like Conestee. I don't know if it's Conestee Falls or something, but no, Brevard's nice. Brevard is really, really nice. Leprechaun Alignment says, do they still have the golf course with the llama caddies? Is that what he just said? Sherwood Forest Golf Club in Brevard, North Carolina still features trained llama caddies. No way. That can't be. There's no way that's real. That can't be. Don't tell my wife, because she'll want to go there like every weekend. Is that now the most random thing that's ever come up on the show? That's awesome. Llama caddies? Hey, llama. What? How does that work? How does that work? A llama caddy. You just throw the bag on them and pull them behind you? I mean, that's fascinating. So I think I remember driving past. Is it like the Amish that do that? I don't know. It feels like maybe an Amish thing. I'm looking up images of this. Oh, God. It's exactly what you think it is, Cole. Throw it up there. Yeah, give me a second. I will pull an image of this, and I will put it on the stream. Oh, my God. Talk about going off the rails here. This seems like a Rick and Greer thing here. I mean, llama caddies. Llama caddies. How much money would you have bet that on the show today, llama caddies would have been brought up? Here we I can't wait to see this. Bam. Oh, my God. Where's she sticking that golf club? No kidding. Goodness gracious. No kidding. So you just strap your golf bag to the side of a llama. That's what happens. Are they trained not to go boom boom on the golf course? Maybe. Or do you have to just what's the ruling there? If it falls in it, you get a drop? Is that not animal abuse? No, they're strong animals. It's golf bags are fairly light. Why does that golf bag, by the way, have 4 drivers in it, and the lady's got another one? That's ChatGPT, right? Can't be. That's Diesel. That's ChatGPT. How many heads does that llama have right there in that picture? There's 2 llamas. There's another llama behind the llama. Got it. Okay, so you're right. There's one bag with 4 or 5 drivers. That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? That's the weirdest thing I think we've ever talked about on the show. Blake Hammond says, llama, why did you not tell me I needed the club up? Yes, the llama. I mean, do you blame the llama there if you make a bad shot? There's another one.
See, it's llamas
Oh,
with
my
golf
God.
clubs on their backs.
And they look
I
happy.
kind of love it.
They kind of look happy.
I'd go play that course.
Llama.
I'd 1,000% go play that.
Yeah,
course.
the NB says that wasn't on my bingo card for today.
Yeah.
Not
Now I want
ours
to do
either.
that more than the little motorcycles.
All because Nick and Brevard called in,
Thanks, Nick.
and now we're on the llama. That's weird.
Hey, Rory McIlroy throwing some shade, Cole, at some of the golfers that may or may not be trying to make their way back to the PGA Tour. He also says that, go ahead and give the Player of the Year trophy to a certain someone because everybody else on the course is screwed. We'll play some Rory McIlroy audio next. Had the quote earlier this week where the CEO of LIV Golf says, even though we lost all of our funding, we're not dead yet. And we hope that we can stay on the same level or stay in the conversation that we were in earlier as a premier golf league. Nobody's buying that, Cole. Nobody buys that LIV Golf is going to be solvent for much longer or be able to thrive in the future. So now the conversation turns back to, well, all these golfers that turned their back on the PGA Tour and made their way over to LIV so they could get that instantaneous payday, what are they going to do when it's time for them to come back? And Rory McIlroy never shies away from a microphone. He was asked if there's value in bringing these LIV guys back to the PGA Tour, and he mic dropped big time. Listen to this.
Rory, Scotty was asked about the possibility of LIV guys coming back and whether they bring value, in your opinion. Are there guys, if it goes away, that should be allowed back?
I mean, I'd argue, have they brought value to LIV?
Oof.
Ooh. I think PGA Tour is in a really good spot.
Have they brought any value to LIV?
Wow. That's a mic drop, isn't it?
I mean,
that's what I love about Rory Diesel. He is not scared. You know, Scotty sometimes shies away from the comments like that.
Yeah.
Rory just bring it on, baby.
I mean, they got John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Cam Smith, Dustin Johnson. Those are the 4 biggest names on LIV Golf.
Yeah.
And those 4 by themselves have clearly not been enough to bring value to LIV Golf.
Jeez.
To immediately be an influx of cash or being able to get viewers. So is it worthwhile to bring LIV guys back?
I mean, I'd argue, have they brought value to LIV?
Ooh, I love it.
Have they brought any
I
value
absolutely love that. I mean, that is
so good.
You know, we love sports because of personalities. You know, like, of course, we love the game of sports, but we love a lot of these sports because personalities make the sport. And sometimes golf and other sports that is dry, you know, meh.
Yeah.
Having a guy like Rory that has the personality, the flamboyant personality, come on.
Where I think he's so good is if he's got something to expound upon, he will talk for a long time about something, and it's usually pretty eloquent. But when he's dropping the mic on somebody, it's always short. It's
short. You got to be short.
It is to the point, no wasted words.
I love it. Keep on dropping the hammer on LIV, Rory. Just let them rip, why don't you? Speaking of letting them rip, Diesel, we have been letting them rip all week. Now, I'm not talking about that. No. I'm talking about that kind of letting them rip. I'm talking about our week of predictions.
Oh,
those we've been letting rip. We've already let one rip on the show today. Today, we did our Carolina's top 10.
Oh, you're still talking about predictions.
Yes, predictions. Next segment, we continue to let them rip one more time. We're getting closer and closer to Friday. Tomorrow will be our national championship. Today, conference champions. The week of predictions continues next.
Upstate.
Well, somebody has to win, the usual. Somebody's got to win these conferences, right? It is time for you and I to continue our week of predictions. It's been so much fun this week. I like that. I should have had some kind of
effect.
I know. Let me try. It is time for us to continue our week of predictions. That's a pretty good one. The air horn.
Yeah.
Or the, let's see, boxing bell. You like the boxing bell?
What do we like about this, Cole? How about week of predictions? It's not muted. What's going on here?
That's
do you have my channel? Do you have me on?
Oh yeah, you're on. I have you turned on. That's a promo.
Week of predictions. I love it.
Salute, everybody. Tolos.
Well, this is not U.S. military.
It just sounds like it, doesn't it? We need a salute. I like that a lot.
So you're saying we should have this silly long trumpet? By the way, the audio was on and up. It just took him a while to actually start playing. Like he had the trumpet to his lips.
Oh, so you're blaming the guy.
Yeah,
you're blaming the guy.
It just wasn't. He wasn't blowing. The guy wasn't blowing.
Okay.
Hard enough.
Okay. Let's see.
I do like that long extra.
The lead up, the anticipation. Yeah. Our week of predictions. You like that one? That's an old one. I don't like that. It's a good one. Good sound effect. Oh. It's a good movie. It's a great movie, isn't it? Is that top 10 movie of all time?
I can't believe you can watch that movie, Cole.
It's one of my favorites.
Really? With all the curse words and all the language in it?
I love it. It's just such a good movie. It's such a good movie. What about this? Our week of predictions. Dabo.
It's a week of predictions. Tyler.
I thought I had Tyler somewhere. I really did. And
I'll tell you one thing. Tommy Brown didn't make the same amount of money.
I forgot how much.
That's a good one.
Down.
Tyler. There it is. Tyler.
Week of predictions.
Hell no. What kind of questions that, Phil?
Week of predictions.
All you ACC homers out there, your conference sucks.
Week of predictions.
Y'all need to be fired.
One more time. Week of predictions.
Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday. Your underwear smell. Happy birthday to you. Oh,
that's such a good one. I can't listen to that one enough. We talk about off the rails. We got off the rails. I love it. The week of predictions continue on the Fan Upstate. I want to hear from you. 844-326-3663. It's the Ingles Markets text line. Mm-hmm. And the phone lines are open as well. We got to predict conference champions. Let's start in the Phil Steele. What?
Mountain West. Could Cole name 3 Mountain West schools?
UNLV.
That are still in the Mountain West.
Is UNLV still in the Mountain West?
Well,
Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen.
You tell me.
Or
is he in the Pac-12 now?
No. Dan Mullen's in the Mountain West.
You sure about that?
Yeah, 100%.
You were right.
Okay.
They are still there.
I mean, wouldn't you say right now, like off the top of your head, if you just randomly had to pick a Mountain West champion, you might throw a UNLV out there.
God, I might.
Dan Mullen?
I might throw North Dakota State out there in their first year.
Let's do it. Let's start with the Mountain West.
Okay.
Where are they?
All the way at the back.
Where is the Mountain West in this thing?
All the way in the back.
Seriously, like all the way?
Close
behind
to
App in Louisiana, South Alabama, Ohio. Oh, did I find them? The MAC. No, there's the MAC. Does Phil, where did you
remember
Phil?
To put him in there?
What kind of answer is that, or what kind of question is that, Phil?
This is the Bible according to Phil Steele.
I've got Akron. I've got Buffalo.
That's the MAC.
No. Yeah, I mean they're in here somewhere. Man, this is great radio. And then you threw us a curveball, but now I want to go.
The pages are stuck together. You can Mountain West, page 258, excuse me.
258, the Mountain West.
58.
Which Tolo can call in right now and name the most Mountain West teams?
Because there's been a lot of changeover. And now, Cole, there is a school in Illinois that finds themselves in the Mountain West.
Here we are.
Because conference realignment makes so much sense.
Why didn't we get invited to Mountain West Media Days? Where do they do that at? Colorado? I mean, I don't know. It just seems like you got to do it in Denver or something, don't you? I mean, you got to do it out there in the mountains. Shane says, do you know who UNLV might be starting at quarterback? Well, Shane, now that you've asked me,
they held it at the Palms Casino in Las Vegas.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty fun. No, Shane Barrett, I do not know who UNLV's quarterback is. I'm sorry.
Only degenerate gamblers know.
I hate to be that guy.
Oh,
what?
God.
Did UNLV leave the Mountain West?
UNLV's still in the Mountain West. But a whole lot of Mountain West teams just went into the Pac-12.
Oh. I don't know why I was
UNLV,
thinking.
Page 262.
Who's the quarterback? He's asking. I don't know.
Jackson Arnold.
No kidding.
Jackson Arnold.
Auburn
we should have known with Shane asking the question.
It's going to be Auburn reference.
Uh-huh.
You're right.
Dan Mullen out there getting it done. Last year, 10-4 in his first year. Remember, this was the whole story of the quarterback that played like 4 games and then quit because he wasn't getting his NIL money or something, and they still went on to win 4 games.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Win 10 games, excuse me.
I do. And I like Dan Mullen. I do. I've always said Dan Mullen got fired a year too. I mean, he got fired too soon.
It was a huge mistake for Florida.
Huge. So you said it. So here we are starting with the Mountain West, and I'm going to be very transparent. I don't know a lot about the Mountain West.
Dan Mullen, next head football coach at Florida State. Workshop it. What do you think? How fun would that be to bring him to Tallahassee?
I don't hate it. I think Dan's a great coach. I do. Yeah, I really do. I think.
And also, what a way to show Florida that they messed up.
Yeah, shove it, right?
Than basically living in the apartment across the hall.
Okay, so we're going to predict the winner of the Mountain West. Is that what we're going to do here? You either take the Running Rebels or the Lobos. You're not picking Air Force, are you?
No, I'm not picking Air Force. Sorry. I feel like a traitor to this country, but I guess I'd go UNLV. I guess.
Yeah, Phil still went New Mexico, but I'm going to go Dan Mullen. I just like Dan Mullen, man.
Yeah.
I like him. I like Dan Mullen. I think he's a heck of a football coach. They, you said it. They went 10-4 last year, 6-2 in the conference. It's pretty good. They tied for number 1 in the Mountain West. So there we go. I know all of our Tolos were just on the edge of their seat today, waiting to hear our Mountain West prediction. There you have it.
What does it say to you that North Dakota State moves in from FCS and they're predicted to finish 5th in the conference?
Powerhouse, baby.
Ahead of Wyoming, which has always been a really good program in that conference. Nevada has been pretty good in the past. UTEP up and down. San Jose State.
Just a good
San
program.
Jose State awful. And then Northern Illinois moves into the Mountain West, and they're projected to finish last. What a smart plan to move.
I have I don't know if you know this or not, Diesel, and this might be the first time I've ever told you this. No, it's not Northern Illinois. It's Eastern Illinois. Another conference.
EU.
EU.
I like EU.
All right, so you're going UNLV?
Yeah.
I am too, out of the Mountain West. Let's see what Vegas has on this here in terms of the Mountain West to see who the conference champion is. I'll try to find that. I am interested to see who they have winning the conference. And
UNLV had the best offense in the conference last year, but they're changing quarterbacks, of course.
Okay, so on from the Mountain West, let's get to where do we go next?
SoCon. Kidding.
The SoCon. No, kidding. Let's do the Sun Belt.
Ooh,
Sun Belt. Or as you call it, the Fun Belt.
Yeah.
I found them earlier in this. Here they are.
I got no reason to believe it would be anybody but James Madison at this point.
Yeah, I think James Madison's probably the consensus. They went 12-2.
But what's fun about them, also breaking in a new head coach, Billy Napier.
Kenny Chesney's not there anymore, right?
No.
I mean, Bob Chesney.
He's at UCLA.
He's at UCLA. Billy Napier going to JMU, man, that should be fun, right? That's a all kidding aside, Diesel, that is a college football story that is really interesting, but it's not getting much publicity, heading into the season.
Billy Napier was fantastic at Louisiana.
Yeah.
So he's already been in this conference. He's coming into one of the biggest budgets in all of the group of 6, let alone the Sun Belt Conference. People don't realize JMU outspends everyone by a lot.
No, it's a good it's a good, not just program, but they have good sports.
So, I mean, I guess the question is, did his stint at Florida ruin him as a head coach?
No.
Don't think so.
No. I think Old Dominion could be right there at the top. They were 10-3 a year ago. And then after that, I mean, no disrespect to the Sun Belt, but I think there's a huge drop. Don't you, as a Sun Belt fan?
Yeah.
I think there's a huge drop-off after 1 and 2.
The traditional powers in that conference, Marshall has always been really good. App State has always been really good.
Yeah.
They're down right now. Both of those teams and programs are down right now.
Georgia Southern's no good.
The funny thing is that Old Dominion had been awful their first couple of years since moving over from Conference USA. Now they found something with one of my favorite names in sports to say, Ricky Ronnie.
Yeah.
But it's not Ricky Ronnie, Ronny. It's Rahne, Ricky Ronnie.
I don't know. Like Georgia State sucks. Coastal's meh.
No, this conference is down
heavy.
In a way that it hasn't been in a long time.
JMU's a safe bet there. JMU's a very safe bet. They're a power in the Sun Belt. So we've knocked out the Sun Belt. We've knocked out the Mountain West. Are we doing the Pac? Is the Pac back?
They have a team?
Yeah, they do. They do right here on page. Let me tell you the page number.
Sure.
The page number is 240 in the Phil Steele magazine. The Pac-12. I mean, I guess we have to pick it, right? Since it's a conference again.
Well, this is a completely new look conference. Boise State's in, Fresno State's in, San Diego State is in, Texas State moves over from the Sun Belt. So you still got Washington State, Wazoo is still in, Oregon State are still in this conference, and then you add Utah State and Colorado State. So if you don't have state in your school name, you can't be in this conference. Every single one of them does.
4, 5, 6. No lie.
Every single one. All eight of the schools.
Of them. You're right.
Boise, Fresno, San Diego, Texas, Washington, Utah, Colorado, and Oregon.
You're not allowed.
States are in.
Boise State's going to run away with us, right?
Feels like it.
I mean, Matt Entz, first-year head coach, last year at Fresno State. Meh. No, I think this is their conference. Weren't we talking a year ago about Boise State potentially being in the playoff? Or was that 2 years ago? Remember that?
2 years they were. 2 years ago
they were in. So, yeah, it's theirs to lose.
With Ashton Genty.
Sun Belt done. Pac-12 done. Mountain West done. We'll skip the MAC. Is that okay?
Sure.
We'll skip the MAC.
The MAC is whack.
USA, yeah. Oh, let's do this. Let's go to the Power 4 conferences.
Do you realize if you take CUSA and spell it backwards, it's ASUC?
CUSA, ASU, yeah, ASUC.
Yeah.
Not the ASUN, the other conference.
Correct.
Right?
Different conference.
Different conference. Let's go to the Power 4. Where are we going here? Let's go
Big 12 first.
Yeah. Let's get the Big 12 out of the way. I think that's a good call. Big 12 is on page 170 in the Phil Steele magazine. This is an interesting conference because you do find yourself asking what Texas Tech looks like without Brendan Sorsby. You know, they had a guy. Who was the other guy? They had Will Hammond. Is Will Hammond projected to be the guy now? 6'2", 210-pound sophomore?
Yeah.
Will Hammond's going to be the guy?
So.
Yeah. So a Brendan Sorsby-less Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Will Hammond at quarterback.
They're going to run a clean program down there. No gambling whatsoever.
No. They don't do that. I think BYU's tough, though. Like, Sataki's a good coach, you know? And are they gettable? Is Texas Tech gettable now? I think they could be. But here's the question. Do Texas Tech and BYU play each other this year? The answer to that is no. How about that? Two of the best teams in the conference, Texas Tech and BYU, do not play. Now, Texas Tech's schedule's pretty whack. Abilene Christian, Oregon State, Houston, Sam Houston State, Colorado, and then the conference. 81st most difficult schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think there's a real case to be made that BYU wins the conference. A real case.
That's the race right there. That's the race. It's Texas Tech and BYU.
You know, we talk about this conference being bad or not as good as the Big Ten, but last year Texas Tech was a 12-win team. BYU was a 12-win team. Utah was an 11-win team. And Houston was a 10-win team last year.
Arizona won 9. I mean, this is really about a 6 or 7 deep conference.
It is deep.
They're not the most power heavy conference when you stack them up against other schools. TCU won 9 games too.
I think the conference is deep within itself, but I don't think their best are as good as the other conference's best.
They are also, Cole, they also play a lot of really weak out of conference games. Weak out of conference schedule. So that helps. That helps.
I'm going to go curveball here. I'm not taking Texas Tech like everybody else is going to. I'm going to take Sataki. I like his name, number 1.
Alani Sataki?
Yeah, I just love the name. I'm going to take BYU to win the Big 12 in 2026.
Ooh. I'm going to go wild card on you here. And I think.
Don't tell me that you're going to predict Oklahoma State.
No.
Deion Sanders?
He's not Oklahoma State.
No. I was going to a next team.
Oh, no. I'm going to Houston. I'm going to Houston Cougars. Willie Fritz won 10 games with them last year. I think the world of Willie Fritz as head coach. He was the former head coach at Georgia Southern, and his teams were always really, really good. They spend now. Remember last year, Kelvin Sampson, the basketball coach there, came out and said basically, if we don't spend, we're going to get left behind.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
And I got to imagine, hey, Willie Fritz is over hey, if you're going to break off some money for the basketball program, you got to break off some money for us over here as well. Quarterbacks transferring in from Texas A&M. Houston was preseason ranked top 25, I think number 20 or something like that. Good chance Houston Cougars put together another good season. I mean, they got Oregon State, that's a win. Southern, not Georgia Southern, not Texas Southern, not Southern Miss. Not
Southern who, though?
Just Southern.
That's not a school.
Just Southern, yeah. Southern.
There's a school named Southern?
They'll win that game 100-10.
I don't know if Southern will score 10.
Texas Tech, and then it's Georgia Southern. So they play two Southern teams, Southern and Georgia Southern.
Okay.
So they'll be 3-0 out of conference there. And then it's Texas Tech, UCF, Kansas State on the road, Oklahoma State at Utah, Cincinnati, Colorado, West Virginia, Baylor.
Oh, I hate it.
They don't have a murderer's row. It's not an easy schedule by any means, but it's not ridiculous.
Okay. Let's go to the Big Ten, Diesel. Running out of time in this segment. Page 92 is where you can find the Big Ten in Phil Steele's magazine. The Big Ten is always interesting. The Big Ten has claimed the national championships now for the past 1, 2, 3 seasons.
Most interesting conference in football, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State going to be predicted to finish first by a lot of people. Indiana and Oregon going to be right behind them. And then what does Lincoln Riley do in Southern Cal in year number 5?
Not much.
Kyle Whittingham. And year 1, Matt Campbell.
He doesn't have a fire to be a Michigan coach.
There's some interesting storylines here.
No, I think it's a three-team race. It's Ohio State, it's Indiana, it's Oregon. Outside of that, I think everybody else is a year away.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley's not a year away. He's never going to get there.
You could convince me that it's a 2-horse race.
I think Matt Campbell's going to be really good next year. Now that once he gets a full year under him there. I think Jed Fish is going to continue the upward climb at Washington, get them back to national prominence one of these days.
I don't know. I shouldn't disrespect Kurt Signetti, but you could convince me it's a 2-horse race between Ohio State and Oregon. I think both teams are going to be really strong. Oregon has the 20th most difficult schedule. Ohio State has the 6th most difficult schedule. You know, I like Oregon's quarterback, Dante Moore. And I know that Phil still has them predicted to finish 3rd in the Big Ten. I think that's a little bullish. Well, no, not bullish. I think that's a little disrespectful. I think they should be maybe a little higher, maybe over Indiana. However, Indiana's schedule is not great. Not great. Ohio State's the easy answer here. Is that right? Is that the easy pick? Big Ten?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't say this is an easy pick, though. I think, like I said, I think it's a 3-team race.
You got to pick, though. You got to pick. You got to pick. You got to pick one.
Yeah, I guess Buckeyes. I mean,
Jeremiah Smith.
It's not a reach.
Julian saying.
Yeah.
We will get to the ACC and the SEC at 5:20. We'll push those to 5:20. I'm going to go Big Ten. I'll go throw a wild card. I'll go Oregon. I think Oregon.
I thought you were going to say Northwestern. New stadium, influx of cash. Look out for the Wildcats.
I think Diesel. I think Dan Lanning's due.
I hope so. That'd be a great story. That'd be one of the most fun storylines of the season this year.
What if Dan Lanning could get it done? What if they waited 4 in a row?
Love it.
Big Ten?
Love it. Speaking of loving it, Cole, our next guest, we love having our next guest on because he is fantastic. Will Vandervoort of the Clemson Insider going to join the show next. efforting Will Vandervoort of the Clemson Insider. Clemson fans, if you got burning questions about the offseason of Clemson football and camp as we're making our way towards kickoff here now, just 2.5 weeks or so, text them in at 844-FAN-PHONE, 844-326-3663. Trying to grab Will. I know he's busy. He's probably out there watching practice and gathering intel, and we're trying to get him on the show here in this segment.
Keyword, trying.
Yeah, trying.
He's just so big time.
Yeah, he's a big deal. Well, he's not big time. He's a big deal. That's what I'm saying. He's a busy guy.
Yeah,
he's a busy guy.
Tough to get a hold of, and maybe we'll get him on here soon. I've left him I shot him a text, so we'll see.
Okay.
A lot going on, I guess, in Clemson camp right now.
Well, how about this? Why don't we jump back into our
let's finish
conference champion predictions?
We had 2 left, right?
Yeah, we had the ACC and the SEC left.
ACC and the SEC. Break my whole handy dandy magazine out again.
We only talk about these conferences every day.
I know.
Do you need to look at your cheat sheet?
I do. No, I do. I just I think the ACC. Look, Miami's predicted to finish first by everybody.
Yeah.
And I think Miami's the easy pick. They're the easy pick.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question is, does SMU, does Clemson, those two teams, and specifically Rhett Lashley and Dabo's team, or even Jeff Brom's team, do they have enough to knock off Miami in that spot? Louisville's schedule's interesting. They have the 41st most difficult schedule. The problem is they open up with Ole Miss. They're going to find out what they are pretty quick. Now, ACC-wise, it's manageable. Look at that ACC schedule for Louisville, Diesel.
For Louisville, okay.
Yeah, I think there's a real case to be made that a 9-4 win team in Jeff Brom's 4th year could do some damage. Do you see Clemson on Louisville's schedule?
Nope.
Do you see Miami?
Nope.
You avoid Clemson to Miami, I think you've got a good chance of playing in Charlotte, right?
Yeah. I think there's a really good shot. Like you said, this ACC championship game probably comes down to Miami. Is it SMU or is it Louisville?
Kevin Jennings is good, man. Kevin Jennings is good.
SMU, I mean, they'll play each other, right? That's SMU's second conference game.
Yeah, it's a big game.
SMU gets Florida State on the road to start the season. That is on a Monday night, by the way. And then they're on the road at Louisville. I mean, the chances that SMU goes 2-0 in that first 2 ACC road game slate, I'd say is pretty low. I'd say 50-50. They split. They need so badly. If they're gonna lose one of those 2 games, and I know on paper in week 1 this would look bad, you can afford to lose the Florida State game because I think Florida State will fade down the stretch. You can't lose to Louisville and have them have that head-to-head over you.
And see, I disagree. I think you can't lose to Florida State because they're going to get so bad so quick. That will be a stain you can't remove.
It'll be a stain, but this is standings. This is standings-based. This is not opinion poll-based.
No, I'm with you. You can't lose to Florida State. You know, you got Kevin Jennings at quarterback. You want to go win the ACC, you got to win that game. And then now the Louisville game, you talked about 2 weeks later. Boy, an early huge ACC matchup.
You could knock yourself out of contention real fast by losing those 2 games.
You could, but you could also say, Diesel, hey, on September 19th, we're going to see a massive ACC matchup. Now, same case with SMU. They don't play Clemson.
Right.
They don't play Miami. I think that September 19th matchup, SMU at Louisville, that is a massive ACC game. Whoever comes out on top of that, whether it's the Cards or Stings, they could run the table. They could run the table in the ACC on that schedule they have.
Yep. After that, SMU has Boston College blowout win. Virginia at home. That's a tough one. We'll see really what Bo Pribula and Virginia can do this year. Yeah. Cal's win. Feels like Syracuse on the road is a win. God, that's tough to not know with Steve Angeli and his health. Virginia Tech, I think, is going to be a tougher game than people give them credit for. Wake Forest is going to be a tougher game than people give them credit for. Then they play at Notre Dame, but that shouldn't – correct me if I'm wrong here because I genuinely don't know the answer to this question. With Notre Dame basically playing a half of an ACC schedule, Do games against Notre Dame count towards
No,
ACC
it won't hurt
standings?
them it won't hurt them.
And then it's at Stanford to close the season. I don't think I think SMU's schedule is fairly difficult in the ACC.
It's not easy. I just think if you have that guy that you say you do in Kevin Jennings, and you're going to wear the cowboy hats to ACC kickoff, and you're going to be Rhett Lashley in your 5th season and 9-4 a year ago, and I just think that I think there's pressure on SMU. You've got a really good team. You've got a really good team.
I have no qualms in saying that SMU is going to be able to outscore people or hang with people. I'm just a little concerned about the defense.
Miami, Cristobal's 5th year. Obviously, they played for a national championship last year. I guess we have to pick Miami. I pick Miami.
No reason not to at this point. I mean,
too much talent on paper.
Is there anything that tells you they have weaknesses, glaring weaknesses jumping off the page? I don't think so.
No glaring weaknesses. You lost a couple of dudes on defense from last year's team, but you bring back Malachi Toney. And, when I was talking to Mario Cristobal at ACC Media Days, Diesel, that was the biggest emphasis that he brought up. When him and I were talking, Malachi Toney's that dude. Malachi Toney's a really good football player, and he's a difference maker. I don't know that there's a receiver in the ACC that's a difference maker the way Malachi Toney is. You know what I mean? So they got weapons. They've got Darian Mintz at quarterback. I think they're going to find a connection early between Mensa and Toney, and I think that could be deadly. I do. I think that could be deadly. Unless something goes off the rails here, Miami's winning the ACC.
I will say this. As many people, and I know Tom in Somerville would call in and rip us for saying this, that's fine. Go ahead. I think this is the deepest the ACC has been in a long time. Because you have, I would say, 3 legit conference championship contenders that we've just talked about in Louisville, SMU, and Miami. Clemson being a wild card, I think they're going to be a lot better this year. I don't think they're powerful enough to say they're definitely a championship contender, but I think they're in the mix, which is an improvement for them last year. And it feels like a wild card always comes out of nowhere to push. I think the middle tier of the ACC has gotten a lot closer to the upper tier.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's a big of a drop-off, to your point. Anytime Dabo and Clemson are – they're always going to be a contender in the ACC, But I got to go Miami. Got to go Miami there. So
I would agree.
You would go the Hurricanes too?
Yeah, I still think they win the conference championship game. Are we talking about conference championship game winner or regular season championship?
Conference championship.
Well, I would say both. I'd say they win both.
Good chance. I mean, where do you see if you look at Miami's schedule, where do you see potential for them to trip up? I don't see many opportunities for them to trip up. You get Florida State at home, you get Pitt at home, you got to go to North Carolina. Oh boy, they're going to win that game. You go to Clemson. Is the game at Clemson, is that Miami's biggest opportunity to trip up, Beazle?
Probably. I mean, if Vizina is good by then, that's maybe a trip up game for them. But they have the 61st most difficult schedule in the country. They're literally middle of the road for toughest schedules.
Yeah, I think they win it. I do. I'd like to see. I think of this. I'd like to see SMU do it. Kevin Jennings is a good talent. Rhett Lashley's a really good coach. And, I'd also like to see Jeff Brom getting his flowers. I think very highly of Jeff Brom as a quarterback developer, Diesel, and as a head coach. I'd like to see Jeff Brom get his flowers. Imagine that. Let's talk about a coaching job for a minute. Imagine if somehow, some way, Jeff Brom and Louisville could win the ACC with Miami as good as they are. I mean, that'd be a heck of an ACC championship, I believe. I don't think Miami would blow them out, but it'd be fun to watch. I like Jeff Brom.
Did Louisville win the ACC at any point when Lamar Jackson was there?
They lost to Clemson in the game in the AC. I'm trying to think. 26. I was there. I don't think so. Am I wrong on that? I'm going to say no.
You are correct. They have never won the ACC championship game, but they appeared. They appeared in 2023. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I knew they lost to Clemson in the regular season. That probably knocked them down a little bit in the conference standings. But no.
Is this really what Louisville is? A program or a team that pops up once every 5 to 7 years?
Well,
and is really good?
I think Brom's trying to change that. I do.
Yeah.
I think you've got to figure out how to use the portal to benefit your program. But I don't know Diesel with the arms race. That's what I go. When you talk about Louisville, I go back to the arms race. Do they have the money to contend at the top of the conference with the Miamis? Do they have the money? Can they match Clemson?
I think they can.
Then they should be. Then they should be a more consistent team. Then, to answer your question, they should be a lot more consistent of a team if that's the case. All right, let's go to the big bad. Once was the big bad, not anymore. SEC, Southeastern Conference.
Not a single preseason number one vote. Think about that.
Wow.
Has that you've heard that stat by now, right?
Say it again.
No SEC team got a first place vote in the AP preseason poll.
Wow.
Now, so that's 3 years in a row without winning a title.
Yeah.
And SEC fans will say, "Oh, that doesn't matter. We're still the best conference."
They're cooked.
And now nationwide. Now there's a nationwide conspiracy against you to not even vote you, to not even give you number one votes. That means Georgia didn't get a number one vote.
That's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe, but it's what happened.
That's hard to believe.
You know?
Stick a fork in them.
Yeah.
Stick a fork in the SEC. They
Conference
are
is
done.
toast.
Tolos, who do you think wins the SEC? 844-3263-663 is the Ingalls Markets text line. Phone lines are also open, unless you're Will Vandervoort. They're not open. Sorry, I had to. Phone lines are open on the stream as well.
Vandervoort down by the river.
Yeah. Let us know on the stream for those 78 watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Who wins the SEC? You know, this one's fun. This one's a lot of fun in 2026 because you've got teams that have really good quarterback play, right? You got John Mateer. You got Arch Manning.
Oh.
You've got Trinidad Chambliss. I still can't believe Phil Steele has Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss picked to finish not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 in the SEC with that guy at quarterback.
But Pete Golding. It's Pete Golding. That's all it is.
And
it's the majority of the staff that is now at LSU.
Yeah, it definitely matters. I mean, you just got so many studs. Caden Durham in this conference, cornerback Martell Hyde at Vandy, KJ Jackson, that I don't know why that. I thought KJ Jackson. Let me. Anyway,
it is harder and harder now to remember where all these guys.
I
went
know.
To school.
I'm sitting here thinking KJ Jackson.
Impossible.
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that. All right. Anyways, SEC time. Georgia's predicted to finish 1 by Phil Steele.
Mm-hmm.
They came up short. They faced Bama. They faced Bama and Ole Miss on the road. Diesel, I think Georgia year in and year out with Kirby Smart's got a really good chance to win the SEC. I just look at Arch Manning, and I say to Arch Manning in Texas, if not now, when? Right? Like, if not now,
sure.
When are you going to win this conference? I side with a lot of people that say, hey, Georgia's the easy pick here, but at the same time, man, like, there's some good quarterbacks in this conference, and Steve Sarkisian and Arch Manning, you feel like they've got to answer the call here. How many teams do you think? Let's start with this.
There's when you gotta parse schedules at that point because these are 1A, 1B.
Yeah, they
type
are
of coach quarterback combos. 1A, 1B.
Let me ask you this:
both of them bring back a ton of guys off of really good teams.
Yeah. How many quarterbacks, Diesel, do you believe are in contention to win the – let's just start there. How many teams do you feel like off the cuff, teams that can win the – that's a good place to start. You have Georgia, Texas, Alabama predicted top 3 by Phil Steele. How many would you say can win the conference this year? What's that number?
I'd go 4 quarterbacks can win the conference. Gunnar Stockton, Arch Manning, John Mateer, and Trinidad Chambliss.
I don't hate
win
that.
the conference.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all.
5, Marcel Reed. I feel like Marcel Reed is a good enough quarterback to win this conference, but he didn't play a ton last year, so there's still a question mark there.
This year they have A&M has 5 SEC road games, including LSU, Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas.
By the way, I said that wrong. He didn't play a ton of games 2 years ago. Last year, he was phenomenal.
Think about that, Diesel. Think about that, what I just said. A&M, 5 SEC road games that feature at LSU, at Bama, at Oklahoma, at Texas. I mean, they're a contender. I don't like Marcel Reed. I just
A&M's a home game, by the way. Or Texas is
Oh,
a
is
home
it?
game for A&M.
okay. Well, that helps.
It's also a Friday game, so it kind of adds a little extra
Oh,
mystique.
Wait, what?
That's a Friday game.
Texas A&M's on a Friday?
Yep.
Okay.
Friday,
Is that
November
Black
27th.
Friday?
Yep. Last week of the season.
Black Friday. That night, hey, that could be a good game. It could be a good one, right? That could be fun.
Huge.
I don't know. I do think they're a contender, Diesel. I like Marcel Reed a lot, but you said Arch could win it. Gunner could win it. They're all good quarterbacks. I like John Mateer a lot. I think if he brings those interception numbers down in 2026, Oklahoma could be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Texter from the 901 says Texas. How do you choose between those? How do you choose between Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, throw Alabama in there?
You roll a 5-sided die. That's how you do it. You can't flip a coin on it, but you can roll a 5-sided die.
That's the only way to do it?
I think so.
Yeah. I like Trinidad Chambliss a lot. Let me start there. But I'm with you. I do think they also lost a lot. So I'm not going to go Ole Miss.
He did win it last year, right?
Ole Miss.
Who won the Ole Miss? Let me rephrase that. Who won the SEC championship game last year?
It was it Georgia? Why am I don't know. You put me on the spot here.
It was Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
They
Georgia.
beat out. So Ole Miss didn't even play in it. You're right. Now we're getting all confused here. Georgia won it. They beat Alabama 28-7, blowout win at Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
And Gunnar Stockton was the MVP of that game, by the way.
It's between Georgia and Texas for me. They do not play each other in the regular season. Georgia and Texas don't. So I'm going to say, Diesel, there's your SEC championship in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I think Texas gets them. I think Texas gets them in their own home stadium.
Gosh,
pretty much home stadium.
Fun.
I do. I do. I think Arch Manning's due. I think he has a better year. Sark's a good coach. I'm gonna go with the Texas Longhorns to win the SEC in 2026.
I think there should be a rule. If a Texas team wins it, they get to bring the SEC championship game back to Jerry World the next year.
Well,
if one of the Texas teams or Oklahoma wins it,
they get to bring the championship game
to Jerry World. You know, Atlanta's been riding high on this hog for a long time with the SEC championship.
They get to steal the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Shane Barrett says Georgia wins it. He says A&M schedule's brutal. It is brutal.
All these schedules.
They all are. I'm going to go Texas. Who do you go?
I'm going to go Gunnar Stockton again. I think he does it back-to-back years.
Gunnar. Kirby.
Gunnar and Kirby.
You're going with the Bulldogs. You like them Bulldogs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an easy. Yeah, they're so talented.
It's easy, but it's far from easy at the same time. It's far from easy to have any confidence in that pick.
But you trust Kirby.
I do trust Kirby.
People, I mean, that's the common theme, right? A lot of people trust Kirby. I don't hate it. You're going Bulldogs. I'm going Longhorns and the SEC, and those are all of our predictions for the day.
Love it.
How about that? We got to get to our top headlines, though. Our Daily Wires, Diesel. We'll have that for you next.
Cole, Bryson, and Diesel on the Fan Upstate.
Well, what's going on in the sports world? We have a segment where we get to everything. We try to get to everything. Our Daily Wires. The Braves now 5-5 in their last 10, leading into today. They had an early game today, and the Bravos trying to get out of that funk. I don't know what's wrong with the Braves and the funk they've been in. However, they were able to overcome the White Sox 2-0 today and get their 75th win of the season.
That's good because the White Sox are a good team. It's not like you're beating crappy teams.
The old White Sox. Yeah.
You're right. The old White Sox stunk.
They did. It's not like you're beating the old White Sox. So good win for Atlanta. Hey, you'll take them. They have been in a funk, so you'll take anything that you can get. Diesel, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Nuggets, and the Clippers agreed on a trade that would send Peyton Watson to Cleveland and Max Struss to Los Angeles, sources told ESPN on Wednesday. As part of the multi-team deal, Denver will receive an unprotected 2031 Cavaliers first-round pick and a 2032 Sacramento Kings second-rounder. Watson will sign a new 4-year, $88 million deal with a player option. Rich Paul getting his players or his agents, or no, his players, he's the agent, he's getting them paid.
Think about this. We're talking about guys that are not even in college yet, on our like sophomores in high school. These are the guys that are going to be making up these picks by the time they actually come to fruition.
It's crazy, right?
Yep.
Major League Baseball now uses technology to confirm and overturn balls and strikes, Diesel, but is it time to do something similar with the foul poles? This is a cool story if you hadn't seen or heard about it yet. The Baltimore Orioles certainly felt aggrieved Wednesday night against the New York Yankees after Pete Alonso's deep fly to left field in the seventh inning was ruled foul. The call was upheld with a review. The play occurred with the score tied at 3. New York then scored twice in the top of the eighth and went on to win 5-3. I think it's a simple fix like football. You have the pylon camera with the plane where it shoots right across the goal line, Pete Alonso said. And I feel like for us, we could have an easy laser. We could easily have a laser or a camera that shoots straight up. Manager Craig Albernaz also shared the same frustration. Do we need foul pole technology in baseball, Diesel?
You know, in the rare instances that it is this hard to figure out, I mean, there's video replay evidence that most of the time can tell you when a ball is fair or foul. And it's funny that he's looking at football as the bastion of they always get it right. No, they don't.
Always.
Sure, yeah. Why not? Pack some more lasers out there. What's the worst that could happen? Just more, radiation everywhere.
I mean, I do like the idea of every aspect of the game being right.
Yep.
So I don't have a huge problem with it. World number one golfer Scotty Scheffler said he isn't opposed to LIV golf players potentially returning to the PGA Tour because they bring value, and he wants to compete against the best in the world. But Rory McIlroy, Diesel, did not feel the same way. You had this audio earlier.
I've got it for you right now.
You ready?
You ready to play
What did Rory say?
I mean, I'd argue, have they brought value to LIV?
Ooh,
that's a great line.
Have they brought value to LIV?
And I guess my question is, how do the two best golfers in the world have totally opposite opinions on that? Totally opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, Scotty thinks, they brought value. They bring value. Rory, they didn't bring value to LIV. I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around it.
It's really Bryson and John Rahm, right? Those are the two that you could say bring the value back. Bryson doesn't bring it as a guy competing for championship wins. John Rahm, I think, does. But Bryson brings a whole different level of new viewership and talkability to the sport.
Have they brought value to LIV? That's what he asked. That's a great quote, Rory McIlroy, the quote machine. High school football officially makes its return tonight. Several area teams across the state kick off a day early. Most teams back in action tomorrow. Burns Independence, you can hear that game right here on the Fan Upstate Burns pregame show at 7. Some games were moved to tonight, Diesel, because of the weather. But now, today, I looked on the weather app, and tomorrow doesn't look as bad. So maybe some of these games will dodge the storms.
Hey, That just means we get more football on more days, and we get football a day earlier than it's like a gift from the football gods.
East Side at Chapman tonight, one of the local games that is happening tonight instead of tomorrow. Former Ole Miss starter Daquan Wright, Xavier Harris, and Wyatt Williams, all of whom signed with NFL teams this summer, are among a group of athletes who were granted temporary restraining orders Wednesday to return to college football for one more season.
Yeah.
South Carolina former safety DQ Smith, LSU linebacker Jack Tyburn, and James Madison Trent Hedrick are among other players to join the suit. How about that?
Yeah, they're all coming back.
Coming back. One more for you. Furman kicks off the 2026 season 1 week from today, Diesel, today.
Yeah.
Head coach Clay Hendricks will join us early next week, where he'll join us on Wednesday at 6:20, but then the rest of the year, you'll hear him on Thursday, just like you always have. Excited for Furman football to be back on the Fan Upstate 1 week from tonight. Let's go.
So forward to it. Can the Paladins get it going this year with a new quarterback? It's going to be fun to watch. Their old quarterback is now where's he at? New Mexico, I think.
Trey Hedden?
Yeah, Trey Hedden. I think. I could be wrong about that. Hey, we'll look it up in the break and give you a definitive answer on the other side. It's one of those things, didn't think to think about it until you thought about it in real time. But on the other side of the break, the Tolo takeover. It is your opportunity, Tolos, to call in on the Ingles Markets call-in line at 844-FAN-PHONE and be a part of the show. Next.
From the Going Top.
Well, now, Cole, we have some clarification on what happened in the 420 segment. It's not that Will was big time, and it's Will Vandervoort of the Clemson Insider. It's that he was so deep in thought, so focused that his phone just didn't even go off. Will Vandervoort, welcome into the show. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, guys, I was literally sitting at my computer writing, and I guess I was in thought and didn't even notice that my phone was ringing over there, but it wasn't like, your phone rings, but I wasn't getting a ringtone at all.
What is your ringtone, Will? What's Will Vandervoort's ringtone?
It's regular. It's
okay.
just, whatever comes with Apple. I know, I'm boring.
I thought it was like pop that hoochie mama.
Yeah, that's it. So I apologize that I wasn't paying attention to
it's
my
all
phone,
good,
guys,
man.
and I lost track of time.
All good.
I looked down. I said, "Oh crap! It's 4:45," and I look over and I'm like, "Oh man."
No worries.
So, yeah,
well, maybe the real question is what topic had you so enthralled that you're writing about? Little preview for our Tolos that read the Clemson Insider. Can you give us a heads up on what you're writing about?
Well, I'm just writing about something we're going to have tomorrow, not today, because today we got scrimmage today over at Clemson. So I'll be writing on the scrimmage and all. But I'm just writing a story about the quarterbacks for tomorrow. So nothing earth-shattering about it. But, that's kind of what I'm writing about. But, yeah, I was all into it, and I apologize. And just, again.
All good, man.
Today we'll have you covered all over the place with the scrimmage. We got 3 people there, including myself, and so that's going to be about an hour from now.
Okay,
that we'll be talking to Dabo.
So let me ask you this: and again, a lot of fans, I'm sure, ask this question as well. What do scrimmages on the 20th day of August look like? I mean, is this something you really learn a lot from? Of course, the coaches do, but from your perspective in the media role that you're in, what can you learn from a scrimmage this time of year?
Well, I know, like, historically, what Dabo will do is he'll spend the first part of the scrimmage working with the first and second team. And they'll do a little bit of scrimmage, good on good. And then what he'll do after that is he'll take out the guys he wants to take out. And then he'll go first team against second team guys on offense and defense. And the reason he does that is because he wants to see how those second team guys respond by that sudden change, and they have to come in and they're going against the other team's first team, right? Mm-hmm. So kind of an idea of what those second teamers will look like, and also those younger players. This is a scrimmage where they really pay attention to the younger players and who's going to really be able to help them this year, and who they maybe need to develop. The scrimmage kind of tells them a lot, and so they base a lot off that. So the first scrimmage is more good on good the whole way and everything. This scrimmage, again, like most of it, will be based on, first team versus second team. There will be some good on good, like in situational stuff, like, down at the goal line, first and goal, things of that nature that the coaches need to see from the team. So that's kind of what you're going to get out of today's scrimmage, I would imagine.
Well, Will, one thing I think we've all learned about Dabo Swinney over the years is that pretty much nobody can make Dabo doubt himself, but fans will always have their doubts. Why is it that you think fans doubt Christopher Vezina has what it takes to be QB1? I mean, he's been in this program. Fans have seen him play in limited situations. We haven't seen Tate Reynolds play, but somehow he seems to be a very popular option among the fans, even though they hadn't seen him perform.
Right. Well, yeah, that's always the case. It's always the guy that they're nothing about that they're always the most excited about. But let's look at the one game when you can truly judge Christopher Vezina on. And I know some people say, well, he played against Furman, but he played awful. Look, he played against Furman in a very vanilla situation. They weren't doing things, and you can't even count that. And I know I don't, because I know kind of what went into that part when he came in. And but we look at the SMU game, right? And that game, he was 29 of 42, 317 yards and 3 touchdowns. No interceptions. Let me say that again: 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Completed close to 70% of his passes. Went over 300 yards. I would say it's a pretty good day at the office. And Clemson didn't lose that game because of Christopher Vezina.
Yeah.
And so in his one game, I thought he did fairly well, and I'll be honest, I was surprised by it myself. All right, so I think when you look at the situation and you see everything I've heard is like he's had an exceptional camp. He's really kind of taken things the rein, if you will, and has run with it. And by the way, Tate Reynolds has looked good in practice also. And it's not like Tate Reynolds has just tanked it in camp. Tate Reynolds actually had a really good camp too, I'm told. But Vizina's had a better camp. And the coaches like what they've seen from him. They like his leadership. They like how the team rallies around him. And, there's all those nuances that are important when you look at your starting quarterback. And I think that's why right now, from everything we're hearing, he's going to be the guy that's going to get the ball when Clemson starts. Now, Dabo has not announced anything. We'll see if he does that today. I doubt he will, because why would you want to go ahead and give LSU the opportunity to know who they're playing for a couple weeks early? Yeah. If I'm Dabo, I just keep that under wraps until I have to say it, which, he joked around last week and says, I may not say anything until they run out into the field after kickoff. So I'm kind of with Dabo on that. Why give LSU an advantage to get prepared for a quarterback? Make them prepare for both.
Well, would another answer to Diesel's question there be that Clemson fans are just so ready to have their next Deshaun Watson, their next Taj Boyd, their next Trevor Lawrence they hadn't had in a few years now? Is that the reason? Just because a lot of Clemson fans are just so ready to have their next superstar quarterback, and maybe they doubt that Christopher Vizina, maybe while he's good, maybe they doubt that he's that superstar, and maybe Tate Reynolds could be.
Well, first of all, let's go ahead and temper expectations a little bit. You might have another Taj Boyd at some point, but the chances of you having another Trevor Lawrence and another Deshaun Watson are slim to none in the next 30 to 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay? Because let's go to the last time Clemson had a quarterback of that ilk, right? That would be one Steve Fuller. So you went from Steve Fuller in 1975 through 78 until Deshaun Watson came in 2014. We've had a quarterback of that, a generational type quarterback. And that generally is the norm.
Yeah.
You don't get a generational quarterback every recruiting cycle. It just doesn't happen. People forget Kelly Bryant was a highly recruited kid, but he wasn't a Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson. Cade Klubnik was a highly recruited kid. So was DJ Uiagalelei. Neither one of those were Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. So, they weren't even Taj Boyd, right? And so, it's hard to get a quarterback. Just because he comes in as a five-star doesn't mean he's your next Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence. You kind of got to see what's going to happen. And, right now I think they feel like they got the best quarterback for the job. And, we'll see when he goes down to LSU. We'll see how the season goes. I think the verdict's still out. I don't think you can judge Christopher Vizina on just the SMU game last year. And I don't think you can judge him just on the LSU game. I think you got to let it play out a little bit before you actually get a true opinion of what kind of quarterback he is. So, that's going to take a few games. They like Tate Reynolds. They like where he's at. They like how he's progressed. And I think that there's a situation where you could see him come into that LSU game maybe for a series or two, a la what we saw out of Trevor Lawrence at Texas A&M, a la what we saw out of Deshaun Watson at Georgia. You could see that, maybe. But then again, you might not see it. You might see what you saw to Cade Klubnik and not see him at all for weeks and weeks and weeks, right? So, in those kind of talking about moments where the game is still on the line moments, right? So, we'll just see what happens. But they like how he's progressed. They like where he's at as a true freshman coming in January and how he's progressed from spring to now. And they feel good about him. But right now, I think from everything I'm hearing that Christopher Vizina is going to be the guy.
Will we know that this receiving core for Clemson is really good? One of the best in the conference, if not one of the best in the country. The question then becomes in week number one, when you're on the road at LSU in that environment, you're going to have to be able to run the ball against LSU to win. Two-part question here. Is Christopher Vizina prepared to really run the ball with his legs a lot? Is he prepared to be mobile, as mobile as he needs to be? And then the second question to that, with Gideon Davidson still being fairly young and some of the backups like Chris Johnson having had time at big-time schools already, is there a chance that they lean on Chris Johnson a little bit early because he's got that experience in big-time games?
Well, guys, I'll tell you, Dabo kind of let the cat out of the bag last week after the first scrimmage, and he said there's like, he says you kind of got, Gideon Davison and, Easy Amume, and you got, Jarvis Green are kind of like over here, and those are your running backs, right? And then he's like, and then, we got this special box over here for C.J. Johnson, for Chris Johnson, I mean. We got this special box for him. So I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean Chris Johnson and Gideon Davison are on the field at the same time? If you looked at social media today, you saw a play from that scrimmage last week where Chris Johnson's breaking off a long run for a touchdown. You also saw in that same scrimmage earlier last week, after that scrimmage, that Gideon Davison broke off a 60-yard touchdown run. So, and things I'm hearing out of camp was Clemson's emphasizing the running game. It's actually made the defense and offensive lines, they said it's the most physical camp they've had in a while. And that, it's been emphasized that this team is going to run the football and they're going to run it a lot. And I think from what we're seeing on the scrimmages, at least the footages we're seeing, that seems to be the case. And what the offensive line and defensive line guys have come out and said, that seems to be the case as well. And so I think when you look at this running back room, I think, you're going to see a lot of Gideon Davison. You're going to see a lot of C.J. Johnson, Chris Johnson, excuse me. And I think you might see him at the same time on the field. I think there's, a guy like, Chris Johnson is a guy that Chad Morris loves. And if you remember Chad Morris' offense just here at Clemson before, he loves to do a lot of different things with orbit motion, guys going in motion, flipping the ball to him in space, getting his playmakers the ball in their hand. I think Johnson gives him that ability to do that. And then when you got a Bryant Wesco and a TJ Moore as well, and then Gideon Davison, you got 4 or 5 true playmakers out on the field that can really cause headaches for defensive coordinators.
Talking to Will Vandervoort, the Clemson insider this afternoon on the Fan Upstate. You talk about the emphasis on running the football, Will. That's been talked about a lot this offseason. We know that Chad Morris wants to emphasize that as well. How do you envision that conversation going, or how did it go? Did Dabo Swinney the last 2 years just not have the ability to put enough emphasis on that? I mean, he is the head coach, or do you feel like when Chad came in, it was a conversation that was had and, hey, coach, we need to get back to running the football? How do you envision that going down?
I envision it was Dabo, like, we need to run the football.
Yeah.
Dabo comes from Alabama. His blood is running the football, play action, throw the ball deep. That's who Dabo Swinney is. And that's who, that's what he grew up on in college football. That's what he played when he was at Alabama under Gene Stallings. And so I just think, it was more last year. If you go back and listen to a couple of those games where they didn't run the football at all, Dabo was very, very adamant about how disappointed he was that they didn't run the football and stick with it like they should have. Said that several times last year. It was painfully obvious. I know just from people who went to practice, they talked about how Clemson did not emphasize the running game in practice, that it was always they'd come out and they're throwing the ball almost the whole practice. So, I think Chad Morris's offense is more of a run-first offense. It likes to run the ball and then set up the play action, and then go deep down the field 3 or 4 times in one quarter. I mean, Chad Morris's goal is to throw the ball vertically 3 or 4 times in a quarter. So, to do that, you got to be able to run the football, and you got to be able to run the football effectively. And so that's why the emphasis on the run game. I think Dabo, as he mentioned, he went back to his roots. He went back to what he knows best. And he knows Chad Morris. He knows Chad Morris likes to run a lot of the same things. He talked about that. He's like, I want to bring in a guy who understands me, but also understands what I'm looking for and how I want my offense to look. And Chad Morris is that guy. And I think that's why it's a good match. And that's why I thought it was a good hire.
Will, when we've been talking about that team down south, down 26, we've been talking a lot about the offensive line not being where it needed to be last year and giving up a lot of pressures. That's not the case at Clemson this year. Not a huge amount of changeover from last year to this year. Just give us your thoughts on the offensive line, how they stack up, and your trust level that they are going to be able to keep a clean pocket for the new starter.
Yeah, I mean, they do have change as far as starters go, because they did have some guys graduate, things like that. And they lost Blake Miller, who's the first Clemson offensive lineman since 1960 to be drafted in the first round of an NFL draft. So that was obviously a big loss. But so I think, physically they look the part. I mean, they really do. These guys are big. I mean, guys, I'll be honest with you. Braden Jacobs came in there the other day, and they list him at 6'7", 340. I tell you, man, he's probably 6'8", 6'9", 350 pounds. I mean, that guy's the biggest man I've ever seen in my life. And I'm saying this as a guy who stood next to Dexter Lawrence before. Okay. This guy makes Dexter Lawrence look small. That's how big he is. And then, the other guys that came in, I mean, Harris Sewell's going to be starting at center. They got Colin Sadler, who they're going to bring in. He's going to be a guy that can start at right tackle or right guard. Dabo kind of likes that because you can bring him either way. Easton Ware maybe starting there at right tackle as well. He's been working there a lot. Ronan O'Connell's been working at right guard. Over on the left side, that's solidified. You got Jacobs, and then you got Elijah Thurman sitting there on the left side. So they feel real good about the left side of the line. They like what they got as far as the talent and the potential of how good these guys could be on the right side. They're just inexperienced with the exception of Colin Sadler. And they like what they got at center. So they feel good about who they are. They're trying to find out who their best five guys are. Are they going to be better? I think from a talent standpoint, they're going to be better overall. I think they got more talent. I think health-wise, they're a lot healthier than they've been the last couple of years as far as the guys that are potential starters that are playing. So, we'll see. Now, I can't tell you this. There was some trouble on the offensive line during the scrimmage. Some guys leaked out. There were some pressures that got on the quarterback that the coaches weren't too happy about. They kind of, from what I understand, drummed that up as inexperience and like some guys just not being out there used to it. They ran the speakers, with the noise, like they're going to be on the road playing LSU that first game, and want to see how the younger guys would handle that, the inexperienced guys would handle that. They didn't handle it too well. So that's not a good sign if you're Clemson and you're worried about going to LSU in a couple weeks, right? That the young guys are having trouble with the noise. But we'll see if they get better. That's why you do those things in scrimmage and in practice to see if you can get guys ready for what they're going to have to deal with come game day. So, but right now I think it's still a question mark to answer your question at offensive line, and we'll just see where they're at. But you're right. That's going to be the key for Clemson going forward.
So, Will, to that point, have they been, blasting the LSU fight song? Have they been doing anything specific to LSU in the locker rooms? You see that and you hear about that all the time with schools plastering the logo all over the place, plastering, numbers on the scoreboard, et cetera.
Yeah, I can tell you this much. Last week we walked up after the scrimmage was getting over, and they were playing Callin' Baton Rouge was playing over the loudspeakers, which is a song that they play down there a lot. So I'm sure they've had other things going too. And then I did notice coming off the practice, walking over to the media center for the post-practice interviews, that over on Jervy Meadows, that they had a goalpost that looked like LSU's goalpost. Basically, it was an old-timey goalpost, with two goalposts instead of one singular one. And that must be, they're doing that obviously for the kickers to kind of get used to that look, I'm assuming. So they've done a couple of things, I think, to try to get them ready for what they're going to experience when they head down to Baton Rouge in 16 days from now, guys. It's crazy. We're almost there.
Almost there, Will. Appreciate you as always. We'll do it again real soon. Thanks for your time.
All right, guys. Appreciate you, man, as always.
Yes, sir.
And again, I apologize for what
No,
happened.
you're good, man.
All good.
No
Will.
apology needed. Always a pleasure talking football. Will Vandervoort, the Clemson Insider. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter at SteelerWill. Good stuff there, Diesel, as Clemson just 16 days away. Can't believe that. Very, very soon it'll be here.
How about
And we will continue the coverage and the conversation as it's ramping up. We continue our conversation in the very next segment. Today is National What? What is today? You should know if you're listening to this radio station, if you're hosting the show. What is it? We'll get into it next. Well, today is National What? Does any Tolo? Do our Tolos know?
I know what today is.
We got an email about it from corporate, so you should know, right?
Did they send out samples? It'd have been a lot cooler if they did.
How do you sample?
Oh, so it's 2 different national days.
Oh, I don't know if I'm thinking of the same one you're thinking of.
We're not thinking of the same ones, but today is National Day for the argument you and I have been having.
Oh, bacon?
It's National Bacon Day.
Oh, I know that.
It is National
Bacon Day. Corporate
Day.
would not have sent out an email about National Bacon Day.
Well, they should.
They
should. We're getting to the heart of the real issues here.
Today is National Radio Day.
Hey.
It's celebrated annually on August 20th to honor radio's profound impact on communication, entertainment, culture. First emerging in the late 19th century, diesel radio continues to reach over 90% of Americans weekly, serving as a resilient medium for local communities and global news. Do you remember the very first time you were ever on any type of radio station?
Yeah, it was college radio. College radio would have been my first time on. I was co-hosting a mix of classic rock and heavy metal show called The Best of Both Worlds. I was the sophomore radio.
Sounds like a TV show.
Guy. And I was teamed up with probably a junior, senior guy. I was like a year or two older than me, and he already had the show. And he said, hey, why don't you come on and be on the show with me? Best of Both Worlds.
Best of Both Worlds. How about it? I had what was the name of it? I had a college sports show at our college radio station. I can't think of the name of it. Oh, it was The Bottom Line. The Bottom Line was the name of it.
That's pretty good. That's a good radio name.
College radio
Bottom
station.
Line.
I think
And
I made
that's The Bottom Line.
And that who said that?
Stone Cold said so.
Well, yeah, Stone Cold. I was on a couple like high school. When I started high school football, I was on internet broadcast for a long time. And, it's not on the radio. It feels like radio, same principle, just not on actual radio. So, regardless of if you're talking into a mic and you're going on the internet, the radio, or whatever, you're broadcasting, right? So today, National Radio Day, Tolos, want to know from you.
Technically, you were streaming.
Streaming, yes. Who are you? Who are your all-time Mount Rushmore top radio personalities in your life? Who's the top radio guys for you, but besides Diesel and I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got my
besides us.
I've got my 1 and 2.
Howard Stern's your 1, right?
Howard Stern's my 1.
How did I know that? How did I know that?
He's the GOAT, man. Howard Stern is the GOAT of shock rock radio. And he, it's funny is he was definitely a shock rock guy, and he still is to this day. He loves asking all the really out there wild questions and get his guests to talk. But he's also a phenomenal interviewer. He's just really, really good at it.
I just knew. I know you too well. I knew you were going to say Howard Stern.
Howard Stern's my 1.
Is Wolfman Jack your 2?
No.
Okay.
John Boy and Billy combined are my 2.
Wow.
Because they're
Bringing
so
it
good.
local.
John Boy and Billy grew up on everybody around here grew up on John Boy and Billy. Formerly RIP Rock 101 was the first station outside of Charlotte that John Boy and Billy were on.
How about that?
So it was their very first syndicated station. And then they became nationwide.
National Radio Day, Tolos, who's your favorite? The Paul Harveys of the world. He was the ABC radio news and broadcaster. He was the famous for and now for the rest of the story. Paul Harvey. That's a great line, man. That was a good one. There's a lot of good ones out there. And then you throw in the sports. Like you think radio, you think sometimes news first. Just these really prolific voices that commentated on news radio and so many different good. The Rush Limbaugh, right? Those kind of voices. They're just really good. Then you think sports radio, and you think all the guys over the years that have built sports radio into what it is now. And I mean, I grew up listening to, when I was young, I grew up on the way to school listening to Mike and Mike every day. That was what I listened to, was Mike and Mike. And National Radio Day is fun because you and I obviously do this as a profession, but it's something that you think about, man, it's crazy how far it's come over the years.
I can't imagine what it would have been like to try to do our job 25 years ago, 40 years ago. It's like you had newspapers. You do all your show prep out of the newspaper sports section. You'd hear stories of guys like having
like Phil Kornbluth.
Yeah. Well, they probably still uses it. But no, like having like 10 different newspapers delivered to your home. And that way you'd have all the sports sections from all over the country.
Yeah.
And that was your show prep. And
That
then
was it.
Sometimes your conversation would be days old. Now we're talking about stuff that literally happens like minutes ago. Breaking news.
Yeah, you got so many good sports ones out there. You know, Jim Rome's a popular one. He's one of the OGs, the massive cult that he built. And Dan Patrick, and the list goes on and on. It's fun. It's a fun conversation. Let's go to the phone lines, though, on National Radio Day. One of the fun things that makes radio so fun is the phone lines. Kev leading us off. Kev, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
Hey, Kev.
How are you? Good to hear from you.
Oh, I know, man. I feel like I ain't talked to y'all in about 2 years, man. I'm telling you,
Where you
once
been?
football season get here, man. I'm
Been
wild
a
up.
minute. You hadn't been toloing, have you?
No, man. I've been listening and catching it when I can catch it.
There you go.
Most of them beating practice, or I'm going to a practice. So I tell you what, but it's on tonight, though. It is on tonight.
Oh, your
Yeah,
Chapman
but y'all talking about-
Panthers.
Yeah, man. We getting on the field tonight, man. It might be some slipping and slide tomorrow. We need to get these good gears rolling out first and early tonight.
7:30 tonight kick. Is that right?
7:30 down here in Edmond, South Carolina.
So-
Man, y'all ain't got nothing to do. Come on up the hill, man.
So what do you like about Chapman this year? I know they're a program trying to build back up to where they once were.
Man, we got still got a bunch of young guys, man, but these guys can play football, man. We got some skilled guys that you get it in their hands, they take it to the house, man. We got linemen is probably one of our biggest things, man. We just got to keep building those guys, man. Because a lot of guys, and I think it's like a worldwide thing, man. A lot of numbers are going down in football now, man. I don't know if they at home cooking or they taking cooking classes. I don't know what they got going on these days, man. They're not playing football no more.
What's East Side, though? You know, East Side lost two really good players from last year's team, Peyton Schrader and Lucas Tankersley. You know, those two guys, I saw them last year. They were some of the best players I'd seen at the high school level last year. You lose them, obviously. I mean, you're a Chapman guy, so you expect Chapman to win tonight, but do you think this is a pretty even matchup tonight?
I think it is, man. With them boys being, 4 or 5A, man, and them boys, they competed real well last year. I know they lost a lot of people, but at the end of the day, they still a 5A school with a lot of guys and a lot of people they can put in and out the game. So what we got to do is go in and hit them in the mouth early and then let them know that this is not last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm going to play like me, with the mindset I have, I'd have walked around with 1 and 11 on my forehead every day. Or I'd have taped it on the wall and looked at it every day.
Yeah.
Just something to motivate myself to know what I'm shooting for.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but you guys were talking about these radio guys. There's some guys I like out there, but I remember growing up and I started out with Stuart Scott, man.
Yes.
Like Stuart Scott, and then but I'm gonna tell you one guy I've always wanted to hear on the radio. And I know he did a lot of game announcing, but Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
You know,
Keith was. Oh yeah.
What's your number one Stuart Scott one-liner, Kev?
Jumanji.
Stuart Scott was good. And Keith Jackson, too. I mean, there's so many good ones. So many good ones, Kev. Hey, good luck to the Panthers tonight. We'll be following along, and let us know tomorrow, if you will. Call in tomorrow and let us know how it went, okay?
I got you.
Kev, thanks man.
Kev.
Always appreciate you. We continue on the phone lines, 844-326-3663. Tom in Somerville. What's up, Tom?
Hey guys, been a little out of the picture the last couple of days, but I believe on Tuesday y'all did your Gamecock record prediction.
Yeah.
What did y'all predict?
7-5 for me. I think Cole had him one game better. I think you had him at 8-4.
Remember I changed.
Right?
We did that yesterday, or
We did that yesterday.
Yesterday?
Let me look and see on the rundown. I'm pulling up the rundown.
I had him 7-5, Tom, winning the first 3, losing to Alabama, beating Kentucky, winning on the road at Florida, then losing back-to-back Tennessee and Oklahoma, winning back-to-back A&M and Arkansas, and then losing back-to-back Georgia and Clemson to close out the season for 7-5.
Tom, I also had him at 7-5, beating Kent State, Townsend, Mississippi State, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Clemson. But I have him losing to Georgia, A&M, Oklahoma, Florida, and Alabama.
Well, I got the boys going 8-4.
Okay.
So we're pretty close. They're not going to beat Oklahoma. They're not going to beat Florida. They're not going to beat Alabama, and they're not going to beat Georgia.
All the other ones are wins.
Why don't you have any faith in the Florida game? I mean, this is first year of a new head coach at Florida. They're as gettable as they're going to be.
To be honest with you, Diesel, I think people are sleeping on Florida. I don't think they're a national championship contender yet, but they've got probably one of the best rosters as far as skill position players go. And I think a lot of people are sleeping just on Summerall in general.
I think the world of John Summerall. I think the world of him. He was amazing at Troy, and he was great at Tulane also.
And, historically, the Gamecocks have only won there 2 times. And going to Gainesville and winning is something a Gamecock fan should never predict, simply because the place has been an absolute nightmare to us historically. So that to me is why I'm kind of on the fence. Now, Florida's certainly a gettable game if Carolina hits their ceiling like we hope. But looking at it now, I don't see a win there, unfortunately. But I will say this, and I've said it a million times, Shane Beamer has not lost at Clemson, and that's not changing this year. So, all you Clemson fans running your little mouth like you always do in August, just remember, Shane Beamer has not lost at Clemson, and that's not changing this year. And he will get back to 8-4. Some people think we can get 10-2. I don't see it. Unfortunately, I don't see it. But if the Gamecocks go 8-4, I'll be happy with that.
Hey, just because the drunk outside the local 7-Eleven says 10-2 doesn't mean people are saying it, Tom. Nobody's saying 10-2.
What?
Uh-oh.
We lost him.
Lose him?
Tom?
Tom, you still there? There you are.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
There's a lot of Gamecock fans on the Twitter sphere that are running their mouth about 10-2.
I should have known.
The Twitter sphere.
Yeah, they're not going to be too happy, I believe, come December when we're 8-4. But on a down year, I'll take 8-4 any day of the week.
Well, Tom, appreciate the heck out of you as always. We'll talk to you soon.
That's right. Go Gamecocks, and there's football on TV tonight, guys. ESPN 2, 8 o'clock.
Let's go.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom in Somerville.
Did he
He's the
just
best.
say South Carolina on a down year being 8-4? 8-4 is not a down year for South Carolina.
I don't know what
8-4 is an up year for South Carolina.
It's Tom.
Goodness gracious.
By the way, before we get to the phone lines again, this old you like old radio pieces like this on National Radio Day?
When it's your turn to do an old-timey narration, there are a few things that all boys and girls should consider.
Oh?
Do you know how to properly use a mid-Atlantic accent? Have you ever tried Carter's Little Liver Pills? Do you know how to properly use the phrases gosh, golly, gee whiz, or and how?
And
Have you
how?
ever watched Little Orphan Annie? Taken a wooden nickel for something, drank Pepsi Cola, smoked a Winston cigarette, or tried rich chocolatey Ovaltine? Because it'll make you feel swell.
You just can't beat those old-timey radio. You know what I mean? Those are so good.
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
It's so
crummy commercial.
It's so cool to hear that, though. Like the old 1938 broadcast of the War of the Worlds. Like I found some crazy old stuff here. Let's see if this is
That
it.
had people legitimately freaking out. They thought it was real.
Just this old, that's got that grainy feel to it. Here it is.
We know now that as human beings busy themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures.
Come a long way, hadn't we?
Scrutinized.
Come a long way. We've come a long way. Let's go back to the phone lines, Diesel. Dan B wants to weigh in. What's up, Dan?
Yes, you better be sure to drink more Ovaltine.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear our segment we did in honor of you today?
Which one?
The first.
Yeah, I was there live chatting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. My
How
bad.
could you forget?
My bad. It was I think we went with
Detroit.
No.
Or New
Who would go with that out of the NFC South? Oh, the Saints.
This would have been the Saints out of the
Saints.
South.
Yeah, that's a good segment though. Good idea. I like that.
Yeah, that's all right. Another YouTuber I watched did that segment as a brief short, and I was like, "Hey, we should do that too."
Oh,
So-
I thought it was original. Now I'm not going to give you the credit.
Hey, I've got all the integrity in the world.
Hey, we love when our Tolos help us show prep. We love it. It makes our job easier. We love that.
And there's no
Yeah,
such
all
thing
we
as
have
an
to do is-
original idea
That's
in
true.
radio, Dan. Everything's been done. You just got to figure out a way to make it unique to your show.
I think I've had one original idea in 3 years. I've had one.
Yeah, but as far as show prep, all you have to do is have a Tolo start talking about food, and it's
it's
game
true.
over.
Game over. Yeah,
it's true.
No, I did like Diesel. I did college rock radio. I called it the Power Hours. I played mostly like the Metallicas and Panteras, and White Zombies and all that.
Nice.
At the time, Nine Inch Nails and some. Who was the shock rock guy? Marilyn Manson.
Yeah,
all that kind of.
I was gonna say
stuff.
G.G.
Yeah, I
Allen.
did
That's
that.
a little harsh. G.G. Allen for rock radio.
No, I didn't do G.G. Allen. I don't even know that name.
Google it. It's
I
fun.
didn't do any of the crazy stuff like the Wars and if you couldn't understand them, that I wasn't playing it. That I wasn't that nuts about it.
So who's your favorite radio guy since it's National Radio Day besides us, of course?
Growing up, of course, I liked the Nebraska football radio guy, Kent Pavelka. He's just the voice I listening to. But on the way to school, we listened to Paul Harvey. So, because all we had was an AM radio in our '62 Ford Galaxy.
Golly, that's a good reference there. 62 Ford Galaxy.
Yeah, it's a lot. It looks a lot like the Andy Griffith police car.
Nice.
All the different being a different year.
Convertible or hardtop, Dan?
A hard top. It was my grandpa's car from probably 1962, and eventually it was my stepdad. He not inherited it because they died or anything. It just ended up in his possession, and that's all we could afford at the time was a free car and my mom's station wagon or whatever. But
could you imagine what a '62 Galaxy would be worth nowadays? Is the car still around?
No, he always meant to fix it up and do stuff, but then they took on a farm where it was a over 100-year-old house that had been completely condemned and redid it, and that's their forever home, and so the car had to go. But let's see what else. Sports was.
What about Vince Scully?
No, I never listened to Vin. No, it was Jim Rome once I graduated college. There was a couple radio stations. Oh, and then in college, well, you had the Love Line. I listened to a lot of that. With Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew, and then down in Jacksonville when I lived there, it was Lex and Terry. They were the ones that I listened to.
They might still be around.
Honestly. They are. I think they're out of Dallas. They've been out of Dallas for over a decade, I think.
Here's this one for you, Dan. You ready?
Now, the rest of the story.
Yep, that's the one.
You just can't. Paul Harvey's voice, man.
I get to school and I didn't get to hear the very end. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't time it right.
Yeah.
You know, like, darn it.
It's such a good voice. It's so good. So good.
Dan, how does it make you feel to know that Kent Pavelka, the Nebraska play-by-play guy that you listened to when you were a kid, is still calling Nebraska basketball?
Wow.
Yeah. I caught that. I don't think it was a year or two ago.
Yeah.
I think it was this past year because they made it in the tournament.
Yeah.
And I was watching that game or whatever, or listening to it, and then I remember that name came up. I'm like, oh wow, he's still around. That's really cool.
Do you know, Dan, little trivia as we let you go, you and Diesel both, without looking, without Googling, who it was, what year electromagnetic waves started becoming a thing, radio found its existence? What years was it?
It was like 2022 or 23, wasn't it?
What do you mean? The electromagnetic
yeah,
waves?
when
was radio invented?
Way back.
When was the first radio broadcast?
1865. James Clerk Maxwell theorized the existence of electromagnetic waves. Okay. Then they created a couple of different, electromagnetic wave, all these different apparatuses. These long distance wireless communication using Morse code, right in the late 1800s, 1900s, it turned into radio signal.
Yeah, I mean, I think at first Morse code was still wired, but yeah, eventually it became over the airwave instead of it being
Yes.
the landline kind of thing. But
the first recognized commercial radio broadcast was November 2nd, 1920.
Oh, 1920, really?
So it took them like 30 years to get commercial radio off the ground.
Yeah,
Wow. How about that? That's awesome. Dan, thanks for the call, man.
Yeah.
1950s diesel and 1960s, the rise of television pushed radio to reinvent itself around portable transitor sets, popular music formats, and specialized local programming in the 1950s and 1960s. And then you have obviously the modern era. How about that?
Here was Cole. I'm going to play this on the air. This was Dan's guy right here.
And there they dribble it out. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second left to go. And there's the horn. There's the game. Nebraska's first NCAA win in history in Oklahoma City over the Troy Trojans. It's all over.
Wow. He had to sit down.
Over all the years going home from conference tournaments, sitting in front of the television, and
he's shaking. How do you not love?
Yeah,
wishing you could be there.
He kind of sounds like Steve Holman, the voice of the Hawks. We have him on the show. Steve's one of those guys. I'm sure he's the same way, Diesel. Steve broadcasted. He's still broadcasting the Hawks game, by the way. He started in the 1970s alongside the Boston Celtics radio crew. I mean, there's some of these guys who have been doing this forever.
I think there's a little Todd Ellis in his voice there too. It's the scratchiness, it's the gruffness, and the ability to get loud and stay gruff. It gives you chills.
Well, you just threw that one in the trash.
Oh,
just
come
throw
on.
him in the corner.
Come on.
I'm kidding.
What do you mean? Tom Ellis is the man. We should get Tom Ellis on the show.
Tom or Todd?
Todd.
I've tried multiple times. Todd's too busy. He's too busy. We have the behind the enemy line segment we do during football season.
Yeah.
Todd's too busy for us, I guess.
Hey, on the other side of the break, Cole, I'm going to throw something at you that people are going to call me weird, crazy, insane, and probably a liar on the other side of the break. That's going to close out this 5 o'clock hour. That's coming up next. Cole, tell the truth. Have you ever pretended to be sick to call out from work?
100%.
You have done that?
Yeah.
You're totally 100% healthy. You just call up your boss.
Yeah,
Boss,
there's this thing called opening day of deer season. Yeah, if I'm sick on September 15th, I'm not sick.
I've never done that.
No,
I've never once done that. 36% of Americans claim that they have never once called out sick when they've not been sick, when they've been totally healthy.
It's dumb not to, though, because
Why?
you get all these sick days.
No, I save my sick days for actually being sick.
Yeah, but you don't get sick that much.
But then you got to, well, I mean, I was out 2 days, about a month ago being
I was
sick.
too, though, yeah.
I never, part of it is because I love our job and I love hanging out with you and I love hanging out with Dan B and Tom and the other Tolos. We have a fun job. We don't work very hard at this. Not compared to the folks over there who are stamping metal parts at GE and doing what they do. We have an easy, cushy, fun job, but I don't feel the need to call out if I'm not sick.
Well,
and if I am calling out sick, I am sick.
You're sick, yeah. I think it's different for me. I have like 1,000,006 things going on, and sometimes, like some days, you're right, we do have a cushy job. Some days I come in here and I am exhausted before we even start the show because of my business or whatever else I've been doing. So I get it. We do have a cushy job, but I think sometimes if you feel like you can, use your sick days, man. Life's too short.
It's part of your compensation. You get paid for this.
Life is too short to show up to an employer's office that you're just a number to. To me, life's bigger than a job. They can fire me. I'll be okay tomorrow. I shouldn't say that on the air. But
hey, Mark. Glad you're listening to the show.
I'm just saying life's bigger.
Cole said that, not me. Remember that.
It is bigger. I mean, a job's a job. There are millions of jobs out there. My point is, if you call out sick to make memories, live your life. Call out sick every now and then. I said that. That's right. I said it.
Okay, Ferris.
I just live your life, man. Life's too short to devote your life to an employer. That ain't me. I'm not a company guy to that extent. But hey, if that's what you do, you do you, right? You do you. We do love our job, though. Very, 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 very much, right? Very much. Let's get back into the conversation from earlier today, Diesel. In the next segment, we talked about it. The highest ranked teams in the Carolinas in 2026. What will that look like? Last year, it was Duke. Who will be number